Hi everybody, this is our newest cast member to the podcast.
Hi, guys.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Alyse. I'm from New Jersey. I'm 22, and I'm the newest member of the Rain Ralph Rock podcast.
That's what's up. Thank you. Welcome for coming aboard.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like you could bring to the podcast?
I feel like what I can bring to the podcast is a woman's perspective. I feel like we have enough of just male perspective in the world, so I feel like with me bringing that, there can be a whole nother targeted audience that can like empathize with what I'm saying and like know that their truth is out there.
Awesome. Are you excited to like join us and
and
get with the shits?
Super excited. Yeah, it's good to be here in person.
Awesome, that works. All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming aboard. We
Hope you
appreciate
guys
it.
like it.
Definitely. Are you excited for this week's episode?
I'm mad excited for this week's episode.
It's a live debut.
Get up into this shit.
We're about to fuck shit up this
Y'all
week.
name it.
Yeah, the Jets suck.
How you gonna start it like that? That's a great way to start. The Jets suck.
Alright, you need to talk into the mic. You can't
Oh.
do that.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, put your mouth right there. Take it.
Hello.
Hold it.
Oh.
Now taste it.
Don't forget the cup, that bottom right.
Touch this right here.
Okay, Brad.
Right by the base, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Guys are the worst.
Act like you held it before.
I'm not a professional
Not
like you,
your
right?
first one. The second one?
I'm not a professional like you, dude.
Did you turn it around because you were jealous that you didn't get to hold it? Because it was the other way?
You want it longer? Put it longer.
Frank?
Frank. You gotta get the 4 locals out here.
Too close.
Move in, maybe.
And it's right on Gabby's back too.
Jesus. Something warm.
Frank?
Frank, saddle up, partner.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Rain Ralph podcast.
Episode 9.
Party mode.
We here.
I'm here with my boy, Rafael.
What up, what it do?
This
We
is
got
episode 9?
9, yes sir.
Oh,
Mr. Rivera in the building.
wow.
Say hi to everybody, dude.
Hello?
They missed you.
Yeah,
We
it's
got-
been a long, you know.
Alyse in the house.
Hi.
Front and center.
Right here.
Oh.
Back after a short hiatus.
We put her to sleep on the comic book episode, but I'm not gonna say anything.
It's fine. You're good.
We got Camilo in the building.
The one and only Camilo Patino.
Oh.
Coming at you live right now.
That was good.
Greatest family in the world.
Oh, he came with
He has that radio
Good.
voice.
Bigger and better than before. Indeed, it's Friday.
Good shit, man. So how's everybody's weekend, man?
Good man. Well shit. I've been just chilling the last 2 weeks, working my ass off. That's pretty much like work and this, but dealing with editing 4 hours of video into 3 hours.
It becomes a part-time job.
I
literally
believe
is. You see the bags?
I went to Tuesday going into Wednesday, I went to bed at 3:30 in the morning, just editing and finalizing part 2 of the Paul Mall interview.
5-hour episode.
The 5-hour episode that I had to cut down to 3 hours. I went to bed at 3:30 in the morning, putting that video up on YouTube, and then when I woke up in the morning, it still wasn't uploaded.
Hard work and dedication, man. Hard work.
So
How's Alyse been?
I've been good. Transitioning, I think, is a good word for it.
She's you're moving now, right? You're
I'm
going to new
moving,
place?
yeah.
Moving on to bigger and better things.
Moving on to bigger and better things.
We
Where
recorded
you
an
moving
episode with Alyse for the
Oh.
long lost
I
episode.
don't
Oh,
think
I
I
thought-
want to say that.
yeah, but
There's
off camera.
There's some creeps
We'll
out
talk.
here.
We'll talk.
But that's good though. We recorded an episode with Alyse, the long lost episode.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I've been procrastinating to edit it. So
Never made
we're
it.
gonna drop that eventually sometime down the line.
that's what I told him. I was like, dude, if you can fix that episode, because I felt like shit because that was the episode that after I heard it, because he told me, he's like, yo, it's bad, it's really bad, and then he's like, I want you to listen to it. I listened to it and I was like, fuck. I was like, nope, we're not putting this out. I was like, I'm done. We have to get better
Yeah.
equipment. But I felt like an asshole because that was your first episode. And I was like, shit.
I know.
She
But
was
you know what?
on the
I'm
phone.
totally good with that because like it was the first real experience of like being amongst everyone. I was super stoned and anxious, and I was just like
Sorry,
not
you can
prepared
You can
at
tell the
all.
nervousness a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I like was very tense. I'm still a little bit anxious. Not gonna lie, it's different. I'm uncomfortable, but it's how you grow.
Yeah, it's true. I'm still. I gotta take 2 shots before we start recording
I
now.
believe it.
I'm down to 2. I used to be at 5, but I'm down to 2, so I'm getting better at it.
Progress.
Yes. Yes. How you been, Mr. Rivera?
I've been good. Just working a lot. And
Just
doing
working,
the
that's
same shit. Yeah.
Same.
Well, thank you for
Now I'm
coming.
here.
I appreciate you.
I kind of did miss it last Friday, especially when you had texted me like, "Yo, all the guys texted trying to find out, you know, are we potting tonight?" And then, you know, because we made the decision early on in the week, we both kind of made plans for that night to do our own thing. And I was like, "Shit, man, you should have said. You would have said something earlier." I was like, "Fuck it, I'm down to just bullshit and kick no topics, just
Real quick,
talk shit."
shout out to us for going to the black hole last Friday and not sinking. Just want to say I appreciate you. Guys.
Forgetting to tell me, yeah.
On another note,
Is
this
that
episode,
promo?
this is
It is. It was a little bit because the whole point was to say, "Oh, no, we were
we
supposed to."
were supposed to link up. We were supposed to go somewhere, and then it ended up being Frank. Not to tell the whole entire story, but it was just this one was here, this one was here. It was like, yo, I'm outside. We got caught up and started drinking, and yeah, I forgot about you.
And then forgot.
I'm a horrible friend.
At least you're aware.
I am. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But now it's just I at work, and then I was at a concert like almost 2 weeks ago, on the 30th.
Oh yeah, the
Brooklyn.
Motion Oranges.
Motion Oranges, that shit was fucking lit. I was high as a kite, and the smell of weed was just permeating the whole fucking
I think
place.
it's like mandatory to be like high at a concert.
Yes.
I don't think you should be there sober ever.
No,
Even if
absolutely
you
not.
go in sober, you're leaving high from just the content.
Yeah, just the
Is
content.
that a true thing? I haven't been to a concert.
And I told my friend that. I told my friend that I went to the concert with. I told her, I was like, we're getting, you know, contact high, because there's gonna be, aside from me, there's gonna be other people smoking. And then she's like, yeah, I don't care, it's fine, whatever. So, but it was great.
That
'cause
actually happened to us at Georgia Smith. Like, we didn't bring anything. I was just drinking, and by the end of it, I
I went
was
to see Georgia
smacked.
Smith.
2 times.
See, you guys are concert goers, right? You
Yeah,
two
I'm about
go to
to
concerts, right?
concert.
You
September.
I love a show.
In September, I was sober. I was moshing.
Where did you go?
Moshing,
Oh,
what's
you're
moshing?
one of those.
Moshing? Yeah,
I
they
know,
open
but-
up the pit and you just F each other up. Yeah.
White
Sounds-
people shit.
It's really
What concert
scary.
was that?
You're
Yeah.
Do it in
you're
Travis Scott
definitely-
concert, so
Yeah.
That's Steve shit, right?
Oh shit.
You're definitely in your 20s. I can't survive.
No.
Like,
No,
I'm
me
big enough to like hold my own, but once dudes that are like 6'4", 230 come with their buddies. it's
Also,
like,
like Matthew,
yeah.
like motherfuckers like my brother.
Oh no, so you do like the whole jumping into the crowd
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit?
yeah.
And you
Usually
just-
I used to be reserved, but I'm like, yo, I paid good money.
Oh,
Might as well
reserve?
go.
So they have like a starter and a freaking backup
Yeah, like
team
you
for
could be
the
in the
mosh?
back near the bar, or you could be in the front and like,
Fighting.
yeah, basically.
So
Not
you
fighting,
play-
but like, obviously if you fall, they'll stop and pick you up, but yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's rules. Apparently, there's rules to this shit.
Not like the girls
If
that
fall,
are
right?
join, I respect them, but they usually get bopped.
As a
'Cause they're on the
spectator-
smaller side.
It's truly scary to watch it. Like, I'm just
I've
like,
seen it.
bro, there's fucking elbows flying. Like, women go in them. I'm
Yeah.
like, bitch.
Oh, no, so
Who
what
are
are
you?
What are the rules for mosh pits? Like, what are like?
Mosh pits are just
No
like,
Try not
elbows,
to
just
die.
fists.
you should, no. It's
Everything.
mostly like,
I don't
it's
think
mostly
I don't think it's a
pushing.
rule.
It's mostly like shoving, just
Yeah.
pushing,
Yeah.
pushing off each other or
Swinging
pushing
your fucking
others.
arms.
just like,
it's
you know.
crazy. Just
I don't
moving
think it's
your
a
body
rule
like a
because it just
maniac.
happens.
So yeah, you so you enjoy this.
Yeah. No, I have to be
I'm
like
not
really
judging you, I'm
feeling,
just saying.
really feeling the music. Like if my favorite track comes on, alright.
So if I hear
Modern
juicy, I have
dance.
to like push as much as possible.
I don't think nobody be moshing it with Juicy.
Yeah.
You sure?
No, maybe
It is.
like
It'd be good.
some Lil John, like from back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
You could march to Lil Jon.
I can see that.
Yeah, hell yeah, his shit.
8-town stomp. The juvenile.
I can see that.
That's a completely different song, but I know where he was going with that too. He's like a different kind of mosh.
Alright, man. So yeah, I want to get into the. No, I don't
Yeah.
want to say into the shits because this is a sensitive topic.
Sensitive, serious.
I'm just gonna start off by saying that I have
Take the lead on this one.
no idea of like any of the facts of how this month came about. Just like all these other fake
Oh,
ass
this how the
holidays
week came
that
about?
we have.
Yeah.
Is it a month or a week?
So what it is, it's
It's a month, I
Mental
think.
Health Awareness Week, but it's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So that one,
Are you sure it's not the other one?
no, I seen it.
You've seen it?
I seen it.
Alright, I'll trust your card bags.
Mm.
So I don't know when it was founded. I don't know who found. I don't know any of that. But I feel like the best way to talk about this is from my own experience, and if you guys would like to share. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, because it's like...
I'm ready for the ride, let's go.
So, mental illness, if I can try to say, I feel like because of all the trauma that like our ancestors faced, we're all minorities, we know what the fuck it is. So, I feel like once you have that trauma, it's kind of embedded in you, and then that's when the disease passes, and you're more susceptible to things. So like people that are like schizophrenic, people that are depressed, people that are anxious, like that comes from your lineage. So it's kind of like if you don't know how to handle it, you can drown in whatever it is.
I believe so.
And I'm also like a firm believer in like all illnesses and diseases that happen are because of like mental health issues. Like it's literally a dis-ease that you have within yourself that is like manifesting physically.
Yeah, I mean, I think nowadays people are more, they understand it more. I feel like people are more understanding about
Absolutely.
it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're more vigilant when it comes to stopping it before it gets any worse. I guess
Not always.
we can
Not
be better.
always.
There's always room for improvement.
You know what? I see it more with like the older generation, like my parents, your parents. I'm sure that they're in the same generation, but it's just like they're used to ignoring shit. Like everything is under the carpet. We don't have to talk about it. You get over it and you pretend like it didn't happen.
But even
Whereas we're very hypersensitive as a generation. Like,
or they'll get like really, they'll get toxic with you and tell you, like they'll call you crazy.
yeah.
Or tell you, it's like, what do you need to go see a therapist for?
but that's the stigma with Spanish.
It's like,
any
and that's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like just because
the
you
man-
go
we spoke
see a
about prior.
therapist, that doesn't mean you're crazy.
That goes back to the prior episode with the overtime when he's like,
If you
it's
act,
the man up. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's not man
It's
up.
man
Don't
up.
express yourself.
I mean,
And-
I also feel like that's their mindset because that's what they were taught,
Yeah.
and that's what they were taught. Because as minorities, we didn't have time to fucking feel bad
No.
for
We
ourselves.
have
We had
bills
to
to
make
pay.
this shit like fucking work. You have kids, you have to like make sure that you can like sustain them. Like you don't have time to be worrying about that your friend broke your toy or like whatever the fuck, So it's our job, I feel, as humans in this society today, to like take a step back and think like, what are the cycles that I keep repeating that I was taught? And does it work or does it not?
Well, that's the same thing with parenting. For me, for instance, I'm a parent. I don't hit my child. I speak
Okay.
to my child. I take things away that is gonna not affect him in a day to day, but it's gonna affect him in the sense of where he's gonna want to improve certain behaviors. And I'm not saying behaviors in the sense of this is wrong, in the sense of like, let's say for school, for instance, you're not doing your homework. That's a behavior that's wrong.
Yeah.
You take things away from him. Versus back then when I would have bad grades, it was you're getting beat. That was the punishment that you had. You know what I mean?
So you were conditioned with violence and he's just conditioned with getting
Exactly.
his shit taken away.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
taking your Xbox away. I'm taking the controller away.
But-
like, you know what I mean?
Every kid is different. I feel like you're fortunate because like you guys, not to like say anything, but like you guys were young parents, so like it wasn't that long before you could relate to his age. You still remember. You're not like a 30-year-old with a 10 and like 10 years later now you're 40 with
yeah,
a 10-year-old.
that's true.
Like you
I can
you
relate.
have
I relate.
you
with it.
relate more. You know the trauma of fucking. I knew a girl who literally would cry when she would get her report card, and she had A's and B's, but the B's
But
because she would
about to
get her
have-
ass beat.
So the problem was because our parents didn't deal with their bullshit, because they refused to acknowledge it, because they were taught not to acknowledge it. They projected that shit onto us, but
Yeah,
we
that's
became,
definitely-
we got smarter about that shit, and we decided to do something about it and to stop it there. Because God forbid, we end up all reproducing and having children. Well, everybody, not
Yeah.
but
Yeah, my pull-out game
you
was
know,
like 14 years ago.
no children for me. But
My
that's the
sister was
thing.
20.
You don't want to end up with that shit, like doing the same thing that our parents did to
That's
your
why,
children.
like, I genuinely feel like not everyone should have kids. Like, I feel like if you were not in the right, like, mental state, like, she tells me all the time she took a, what was the class?
Shout out to Kylie.
Attachment theory. Shout out to
Shout out to
Kylie.
Kylie.
Attachment theory. She took attachment theory class. Literally, like,
There's a class for that?
yeah, and it's all the ways that like your parents and family fucked you up as a kid because you picked up things subconsciously. Like when you're new to the world, you're a sponge. You're sucking everything up. You're seeing shit for what it is. So like your parents might think that you're perceiving it one way, but you're receiving it a completely different way, and now it's like a traumatic thing for you.
Damn.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I mean, when I put myself in those shoes, because I'm not gonna lie, when I got a C or like in New York, it was if you got a 70 and above, a 70 was just barely passing. 77 and up was like a C. When I got a D, it was like, dude, you failed. When I got home, it was, I was getting my ass beat from my mom, and then as soon as my father got home from work, I was getting another ass whooping. Like,
Right.
So for us was if I got like a C, I would get like, that was discipline or punishment. Because they were used to us getting A's and B's.
They're like a C is
So
good.
they were like, for us, like for us, the C was, well, yeah, when I was in elementary, they had E's and G's.
Hold on, real quick. So, Steve, what about you? What's your intake? What's your take?
What's your trauma?
What's your trauma?
My
Any
trauma
traumas?
is-
Come on this journey with
It's
us.
undescribable. It's undescribable.
Spanish women.
I just seen the
How about
Joker,
this?
so
How about this? Let's talk
you
about
guys
your
might wanna fall back.
let's talk about your traumatic situations with the ladies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because that can also, relationships, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Bad luck at relationships.
Absolutely.
Domestic violence with your legs, like the way she put your legs over your head like that, like you didn't ask for that.
Good pretzel.
The pretzel. She knows about the pretzel.
I do know about
She's
the
a
pretzel.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm very like.
Very traumatic. Very traumatic.
Cheers to you though. You did the damn thing.
I
I
had
was
to.
like,
I had to.
Yeah.
But it was good.
It's traumatic though because we
twice.
keep bringing it up.
You were pretzel twice.
You got pretzel
Nah.
twice?
That's a lot.
Son,
It's a
did you
lot
tell
of
her that no
stretching.
means no?
It's not always relationships that get
Did you
traumatic.
enjoy it
It's
or
just
did you
consensual.
you were
I
scared
wanted
at the
to be a
time?
pretzel.
That's right.
But what about you, bro? Like, do you know,
Or anything traumatic?
not maybe
Besides the
No, it
traumatic,
doesn't have to be
but
traumatic.
besides the mosh pit, but
I
like
mean,
just
using a mouse
your
pad, I
take
don't think
on
what's-
mental health and
My
just,
That's
my
traumatic.
take on
do you have your days where you like,
Oh yeah. My take on mental health is that every day you take it one step at a time. Then you restart every day, right? Because tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? You can wake up and you find out like you're sick, or you go on a car ride with some friends and like I don't know, some fool hits you from the front or something. So you just reset. And not only that, but I guess personally, nothing too much. You know, I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head and clothes and everything. And I'm fortunate enough to know people that I've been able to network with or like-minded individuals. But I guess when it comes to my attempt at relationships, I don't know, it's always crash and burn. Like you think,
There's
oh,
some
all right,
trauma with that. There could be some trauma.
all right, here we
It's
go.
definitely true.
Right? They give you this perception that it's gonna be some kind of way, right? And then within 24 hours or a week, it's a total different situation, and then they just everything's gone.
So can't you kind of use your own theory of like you just take every day at a time? So
Yeah.
like one day you might wake up and that shit might not feel the same and you don't want to do it anymore.
Like my brother told me this at least. He was
Women
like,
are cold blood.
I think that just when we're ready, we're ready.
Cold-blooded.
It's like I've already been miserable for 3 years. I'm not gonna do it for another day. Nigga, if you didn't figure it out by now, bye. There's also some women bitches that'll just take
women
their
could-
shit and leave. I'm
Women
not gonna.
women once they turn it off, they turn it off.
Yeah.
Once a woman turns it off, they turn it off. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it. Once
I know for,
what's that song? I forgot the name of the song. Damn it! I think you know what? I'm not gonna promote R. Kelly's music. I take it back.
Oh my god, how dare you?
like I know for me, it
That's
was
actually a
It was
great.
about breakups. It was
That's
about
actually a
breakups.
great person to talk to about mental health. 'Cause
I know
R.
for
Kelly
me it
is-
started more like a few years ago, like more adult than when I was younger.
Mhm.
I started getting super overwhelmed by shit,
Mhm.
work, school. I know when I turned 30, that was like fuck, like that whole summer I was just away from everybody. I was drinking a lot, and then because I realized I was like shit, yo,
You try to drink.
I'm not
yourselves in the
I'm not
bottle.
at the place where I thought I was gonna be when I turned 30.
Mhm.
So then that's when.
I want to say nobody really is where they want to be. If you're content with where you're at that moment in time, I feel like your goals are not big enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Okay, so it was more of like everything that I set out to, let's say, that I wanted to accomplish,
You made a schedule
I
for
did,
yourself.
yeah.
I think that's where we go wrong.
That
And
is
then-
exactly, you expect
So when
something
you're
that
younger,
doesn't
it
control
works,
over.
but when you get older, it doesn't work just because shit is dealt in all different
I know,
directions.
yeah, you gotta play
But then
the-
my thing was, I realized like, you know what, fuck it, I gotta figure something out. So that was when I went back to school, and you know, it's just everything kept coming. And then like my niece was born, so that was awesome.
Mhm.
So shit started getting better, but then getting the overwhelmed and the anxiety and just literally worrying about every single thing to the point that you're like taking it out on everyone else.
Projecting, yeah.
And when shit doesn't go a certain way, I
it's
start going off, and
it's like a
because
domino effect though. Sometimes.
Yeah, so
sometimes you feel
it's
like it's like one thing.
you want things to be perfect,
nothing.
and then you want it to be a certain way, and then when it doesn't, you like feel personally attacked. That's just mine. And then last year, my sister died, so that was definitely super tough.
So sorry.
Like we weren't, thank you. We weren't close, but because she lived in Colombia, but
Oh, okay.
I still talk to her, you know, because we would talk every few, you know, like keep in touch on Facebook or whatever, and then we shared the same birthday.
What?
We're 4 years apart.
So that's like a constant reminder in a sense too.
Yeah. So my birthday this year was
Hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then last year, the last time I spoke to her was our birthday, because a week later she died in a motorcycle accident. So I was just like, yeah, thanks.
Add fuel to the fire.
I was already not feeling like myself, because even for my birthday party that my sister and my mom threw for me the weekend of my birthday, I didn't even want to go. I was gonna stay home. I was gonna stay home, but then I realized, one of my friends told me, she said, yo, your entire family is there at this party. They're waiting for you. They're there for you. They're like, people love you, all this stuff, and this, that, and the third. So I ended up going. And then just the summer got worse after my, you know, and then one day I literally was, I got out of work. I was standing on the platform of the train. And then I literally just looked at that fucking train coming. I was just like, if I jump,
damn, dude, it's getting dark, bro.
is that shit gonna go? How's it gonna feel?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was at that point. And then I called up my sister and my best friend, and then they were like, where are you, and all this shit. And it was, that happened the day before I got the news about my sister dying. So it was just like, oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so then that was when I was like, all right, I need to go get help. And
Okay.
so there's the next building next to my job, there's a place where you go talk to somebody. So that's where I go once a week.
Cool.
And it helps, it definitely helps, but I still have my days where I want absolutely nothing to do with anyone.
Absolutely. I think it just comes with depression. It's kind of like you're just in your waves. You feel extroverted, but then you're in it and you're like, I really want to go home. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I don't have the energy to give. Like, I totally understand.
Doing this was actually what things definitely got better. Like, doing this is giving me something to do aside from work and school.
I also just feel like when things like that, like this, manifest, that's when you're kind of like, all right, so there's more.
Yep.
And that's when you kind of have to push yourself off your schedule. That's when you have to push yourself off the expectation. And I feel like that's kind of the problem with our generation. Like, we have so much pressure. It's like school, push you out, here's the real world, nice to meet you.
Feel its tip.
Work.
There you go.
Let's try to go to college where you're going to take the same fucking 4 years of high school and pay for it. And then it's like all these things are just constantly being thrown at you, and you're like, what the fuck? I literally just had to ask for a pass to go to the bathroom. Like, I don't even know how to make a doctor's appointment. Mm-hmm. Like, it's very overwhelming, the transition from child to adult. And that's why when I started this, I said, I feel like I'm transitioning. Because, it's been real. It's been real out here. It's hard. It's hard.
Easy,
it's so fucking hard. It's hard when you're aware.
And it's and kudos to you to be able to speak on it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's kind of opens everything up for.
Thank you for your honesty.
Go find the help that you need. You know what I mean? Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, don't be embarrassed that you're going through something, because everybody goes through shit.
Literally.
I've had my downtime where I disappear for a good 6-7 months at a time.
I guess that's where it's a lot better now, because, at least not only within our communities, but some, either celebrities or advocates for mental health to actually use their fame for a good cause, and are like, yo, it is okay, nothing to be ashamed of, because I guess that people are more like, you know what, maybe I will talk to someone, even if it starts with yourself. Talking with yourself in small amounts is healthy. Obviously, excessively, that's when it's like, it's okay to talk to somebody else.
Mm.
But then you go to your best friend or your family member, and then not only that, eventually professional help. And then once you reach your professional help and you're at a stable peace with yourself, your friends, a loved one, a partner, and with somebody you're seeing professionally, then you're like, all right, this is where the journey really begins. And then, you know, no one ever fully recovers, but it's definitely better than being trapped and engulfed in like this mental abyss.
I feel like what helps me on a day to day is it's more of a find where to put your energy. Because sometimes I feel like you get into your own mind and you keep circling back to something that's negative versus.
Oh, I'm a master at that.
You see what I'm saying? So stop while you're ahead. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like, oh, but what if this? Not what if this? Go do something.
Do you
Go
know what
change
solves that though?
Talk to me.
Being present. How many times do you catch yourself driving and you don't even know how the fuck you got to where you got?
Every day.
You're not
Because
present.
you're lost in thought.
You're not present.
Every freaking day.
That is what happens
Oh,
when
shit.
you let
Talk to me.
I get
yourself
home. I'm like, how the
unravel.
hell did I get here?
Yeah. When
My
you
mind
let
blanks.
yourself like continue to feed,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you start to spiral. And that's when you need to be like, I'm fucking safe. Like I'm in a safe place.
Okay.
I've been here before. Like I'm healthy. Like I'm good. You have to like talk to yourself. You have to get yourself out of it. Cause it's so easy to dive in head first.
Hell yeah.
That was me because I was literally waking. I didn't want to get out of bed to actually go to work or have to deal with anybody. But I
Yeah.
was forcing myself to. I would get up, take a shower, get dressed, get on the train, go to work, come home. You know, get out of work, get on a train, come home, eat.
It's easy to get caught in
Literally
Oh,
jump.
in the routine.
Literally, no, jump in bed because I didn't want to talk to anyone. Put my phone on like silent.
I want to say, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think.
And all I wanted to do was just sleep
I-
all day.
I
One
think
day I slept for
everyone's been
17
there
hours.
At some point in time, whether it's a breakup, whether it's a loss of a family member, I feel like everyone at one point or another has gotten to this point. It depends on. I don't want to say it depends on it, but I feel like you just gotta find where to. I don't want to say distract, but put the energy towards something that's more positive. I think in a sense. I feel like once you find that, like this, for instance, for you was the podcast. Like the podcast definitely help you put your mind in a different lane versus going backward. Now you're taking steps forward. In a sense.
Yeah, in February I felt really bad, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start. I started my little like page or whatever, and then I started doing shoots and this and that. I was like, it was kind of cool because I challenged myself for the first 3 shoots. I wanted to pick people that were uncomfortable and they did not like pictures, this and that, and I convinced them to come out and do it. And 2 of them were happy with them, and the cool thing about it was at least one of them actually wanted to do it again because they're like, oh my gosh, like now I see what everyone else has been telling me with myself about like, oh, you're actually pretty, this and that, why don't you come out, blah, blah, blah. So,
Oh shit,
yeah, that was
that's
actually
awesome.
really dope, you know?
That's
Yeah,
actually
And
really
so
dope.
I just continued it, and then like seeing the feedback, I get to encourage people, and you build relationships, and like they know other people, and it's just,
Use that as an outlet. You put
Yeah.
your mind in another lane. You see what I'm saying? Like I feel like once you
Yeah.
find that place where alright, I'm putting my energy toward this versus worrying about what happened or what could have been, I think you're in a good place.
Yeah, like I still worry about shit sometimes,
Oh, we all
but
do.
I don't
Don't overanalyze.
I don't overanalyze it in terms of like all my other shit in my life,
Mhm.
but this definitely is an outlet because I focus a lot of my energy on this now. Like I don't really go out. I don't talk to a lot of people anymore. I tell people like, yo, you gotta text me because I'm just like so busy. This is it's time consuming, but it's time consuming in a good way.
yeah.
And you know, I feel like last week I felt bored because I wasn't doing anything until I realized, oh, okay, I have this video to edit. Let me work on that. And then I banged that shit out in a couple hours, and then I just went to bed. But I went to bed feeling accomplished, like, oh shit, I just did something. Like,
It's when I usually have leftover B-roll, I'm like, wait, I could put those things together. I got that song too that I downloaded, alright, let me do it right now. And I went to sleep like,
So that's what I did
Talking
with-
about our outlets.
yeah, that's what I did with the episode, the stuff we filmed 2 weeks ago. We had 4 hours worth of stuff.
4 hours. Yeah.
I realized we weren't gonna put all 4 hours because a lot of it was just us bullshitting.
yeah.
So then I realized I can still use that stuff to add like something at the beginning. Oh, like last time on part 1.
Oh, okay,
Then
okay.
start part 2.
Okay.
And then at the end, we had like a good 7 minutes of just my boy who was our guest just talking to us about like just stuff and
Just
doing this because he
podcasting.
was a fellow podcaster. So he shout out to Pomo. He
Don't tell my podcast.
there you
Check
go.
him out.
All of him, okay.
So he was just like, yo, yeah, you know, he's like, I could tell that you guys, he's like, this is natural, it's organic, that you guys really fuck with each other. You guys are actually friends. That you guys hang out, you go out for drinks or whatever, and this, that, and the third. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I could do it with like random people.
No.
Yeah.
But we don't always all have the same opinion. We definitely
But
can
to-
go at it.
Just to get back to like your outlet, we know your
Yeah.
outlet, we know your, you know my outlet.
Of course.
What's your outlet?
What's something for you?
Put you on the spot.
You did.
All eyes are on you.
Honestly,
Lights on you.
it's so hard to say.
Well, you're a big like concert goer. You're big on music, stuff like that.
Yeah, music's
You're
definitely
doing
an
you're
outlet
doing
for me.
podcasting now all of a sudden too. So.
Podding. iPod, you know,
Potting.
iPod. So that also kind of just lets me like breathe. I try to meditate, but it's really hard not to fall asleep. Like that's a thing for me because like the only time I get to fucking sit and rest is when I'm going to sleep. So my body's like, oh, you're tired.
I do it in the morning.
Time to sleep.
I have Headspace on my
Oh,
phone.
let's not talk about punctuality right now. Please.
Let's not say we did.
That's a sore spot.
But
For both of you?
Oh no, not for me.
I think that
You
what
want to talk?
really
Wait, you want to talk about today?
guys.
Oh no.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Did I do something?
No, not you.
What'd you
Him.
do?
I'm not punctual. I'm only punctual for work. I'm not punctual for potting.
I'm so glad that we have this on record.
Yes.
I can just edit out the at work part and then just be I'm not punctual.
So what's your outlet?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So
We going to you, Steve. You better get something.
I know it's not fun when you're on the spot. No, yeah. So I was gonna say meditation more so just because I feel like what really helps me helps me
I feel like you're just a. Not to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
I feel like you're just a busy individual. I feel like when it comes to school, life, work, your family, you really. I know you're really close to your sister. Your sister's like your mother almost in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And then your father's always in your life, and then your mom comes out. So I know you're just like a busy individual in general.
I love chaos. Apparently, I do.
You thrive.
Yeah. I don't know the anxiety that comes with it. I don't know why I put myself through it, but I deal because that's my life. But my outlet for more so, I don't know. I feel like what really helped me helps me get through my like depression and anxiety is like a blunt and knowing that I am not my thoughts. Like I just had the realization actually like maybe a week or two ago, and I was meditating and like it was just like running, like my brain was just like running, and then I had like a spiritual moment where I was like, oh my god.
Is there sage in the room?
No sage, no anything, just me.
Swear to God,
Natural.
if I hear another girl talking about burning sage, I'm like,
I mean, you should put some sage. Sage is good.
Sage
It does. It smells like barbecued armpits. That's why you gotta light it in intense.
It does smell good though. I like the smell.
But yeah. So I feel like once I realized that like I'm not my thoughts, and I had that moment to actually like see it in front of me, I was kind of just
You
like,
probably walk through the door like, oh, life isn't that difficult.
oh my god. I don't even need to be sad if I don't want to be sad. It's literally like you're investing your energy into those things. Like you know where we work. You know how hard it is to not be fucking aggravated. Like
Yeah, work is
you gotta
insane.
just know that you're bigger than what you're in.
No, of course.
And like I feel like as long as
And
you
I
know
commend
that, it manifests.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I'm trying. Life is really fucking hard.
Steve,
Steve, what about you?
What to?
what's your outlet?
What's your outlet when you're dealing with shit? Please talk into the mic, sir.
Why you can't
Gotta
hear me
get
right
closer.
now? You can't hear me right
Are
now.
you scared? The tip is not that big, bro. Here.
Come on.
Right there.
You've had bigger.
Yeah, okay. Not you, Frank. Ralph. I was about to say Frank.
Whoa.
You know what's crazy? I want to say.
Why do I gotta get insulted out
Steve,
of this?
nothing. I feel like Steve.
Sorry.
I
Sorry.
Yeah, why does Frank penis always make the podcast?
I don't know why.
Have you
That's
seen
gotta
it?
be fault.
No,
Have
no.
you seen it?
Have you seen it?
You can see through the fucking beds.
Oh shit!
It's a lore.
I can't even look at this
Yeah.
mic right now.
On that note, let's pay some bills, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Well, we definitely want to thank Alyse for coming
Yes,
through.
thank you. We
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
We
you.
know you're on the, got some stuff to do, but thank you for stopping by.
Come on.
Muito back.
But thank you for coming through. Thank you. We hope to have you back.
Yeah, I hope to be back.
Everybody
guys.
give it up for Alyse.
Thank you for having me.
What's up, everybody? This is Ralph from the Ray and Ralph podcast. Just want to thank everybody for your continued support. We're trying some new things coming up. One of the things is we want to give you guys the opportunity to ask us questions. So if you have questions for me, you have questions for Paul, for Ray, you want to get to know us a little better, you just want some topics you want answered on the show, you jump in the DMs, Ray and Ralph podcast, or jump in my DMs, Ralph.Patino, and we'll gladly answer them if we pick them out. Once again, thank you guys for all the fucking support, and we appreciate it, and we hope to keep dropping dope content for you guys. Peace. I'm out. Have a good night.
Everybody mic back on?
Yeah, we back?
Yeah, because last time you gave up on the headphones.
I sure did. But I'm not drunk this time.
It was because you were dick riding and he was like, what are you
Oh,
trying to
Jesus.
say?
Oh, Jesus. We talk about penis way too much on this podcast.
He's like, what was that?
What was that?
I don't think we talk about
His shoulder was just, what was that?
What was that?
You look like you were giving somebody a hand job.
My right hand was
He was
disappeared.
riding that shit. He was genuine, yo. That's what you was. He was
Don't
genuine.
be afraid to make
Riding.
it disappear.
Oh, he was anxious?
That pony.
Okay, Ray.
He was so anxious.
Ray, you was biting your lip? You was not biting your lip. Get the fuck out of here. You was biting your lip.
I gotta watch the video.
Hey, who think he was jerking?
Mind your business.
He was jerking hard.
Whose dick wasn't he jerking on that episode?
Hey.
Mine's better be first on this one, but I'm on his right side.
He's like, I fucking called dibs.
And he's a righty.
They am right.
Are we recording?
He's like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Oh shit, baby, we back.
Back for the
Back.
Back for the ignorance side
Back
of
to
the
the
podcast.
ignorance.
Where's the topic?
Let's get ignorant.
Let's
Y'all wanna talk about these sports? Oh wait. We gotta say shout out Vega, finally.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk
We
about it?
didn't even.
Oh no, because they ain't even.
We'll talk about it at the end?
This shit's probably up before my shit's up, so.
Yeah, but still.
No, we gotta.
Well, it'll be the announcement at the end. We'll talk about it at the end.
So Paulie's doing UFC.
I literally just said we're going to talk
Oh,
about it at the end.
okay.
This guy's
Spoiler and shit.
Yo, I think
Wait, spoiler. We can always edit this shit out. Don't worry.
Steve's on the
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't have to do the work. That's why it's so easy.
Exactly, because you
Try
get to
make
go
it
home
as seamlessly as possible.
and hang out in East Brunswick.
Vega's in the building.
Hey,
We finally got Top.
What's going on, people?
We missed you.
Yeah, we miss you,
Yeah,
bro.
man. I had to grow the mustache. I don't know if I can see it. I've been told it brings wisdom, so.
Alright.
Just bitch out.
We got
Yeah.
4 local friends.
It's
in the
true,
building.
man.
For local Frank.
4 local
Yeah.
friends. Yo, you should change your Instagram name 4 local friends.
You know why?
I think I just found the title to this
He's
week's
not a man of
episode.
much words.
Yo, that's the title.
4
What?
locals Frank.
Yes.
No locos. Loco. For local Frank.
4 local Frank.
or Loko for Frank.
Thank Gabby for that one.
He's so shy.
He's like, don't be shy.
Bro, when you walk around with that, you don't gotta speak much, man.
I wouldn't.
You just walk around with it.
You just have it on your hand
Walk around with the 3230.
with the gauntlet.
Yeah.
My help you carry it.
This motherfucker said that gone.
So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna do some sports.
Yes, the motherfucking Yankees
Hey,
swept the fucking Minnesota Twins,
which expected.
and now we'll face the Houston Astros. In
Keep it classy. Act like you've been there
ALCS.
before. Y'all won a series.
I don't.
That's a tough one though.
Ray, you a Yankees fan?
So,
I'm a nobody fan. I don't watch baseball.
but it was a clean sweep.
Nah,
which
Ray's
is
a Mets fan.
I take
Yeah,
you're a
what you,
Yankees
Mets
fan, right?
fan?
all day. 27
I'm
rings.
not a
Queen.
baseball fan.
Paulito?
What's
28,
that?
28, bro.
How you Dominican?
Chase for 28. Yeah, seriously.
Yankees.
You a Yankee fan too?
We
You
talked
know-
about
you know I
last week,
carry that
but we still
bandwagon,
ashamed you a
baby.
little.
I drive the bandwagon.
Steve,
yo.
you a Yankee fan?
I'm a Yankee.
Y'all lucky Mahomes lost because I would have got that jersey on there.
How the
Are
fuck
you
are
a
you?
Yankee fan too?
Casually, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you guys friends with Jerry then?
Jerry's the worst.
Jerry's
fan
friends with
ever.
us. So.
Oh shit! He's like we allow Jerry in our space,
Jerry
in
was
our
the
presence.
Frank, you a Yankee fan?
If it was up to Jerry, he would be our friend.
He's a Mets fan.
This
Mets
is
fan
true.
by association.
I think Jerry doesn't
my
want to be our
brother.
I think
He's
Jerry does
Waynesburg.
not want to be our friend.
Jerry's definitely picked other friends over us multiple times.
Multiple times.
Facts.
It's okay though.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
Jerry.
Where
you know what I like for no reason? Just because it had my name, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
Oh, big hurt.
Frank Thomas.
Damn, you
okay.
got a
White Sox.
finger in your fucking pants.
Stupid.
You out there hurting bitches.
Frank does have the big hurt. Yeah.
Oh.
He does.
Call about that? Man,
About that.
Frank is the big hurt.
Zoom in.
This is the time. This is the time you gotta swipe up to.
Get the premium access.
Frank's OnlyFans account.
He's been waiting.
This all started with a simple baseball account.
Yo, how much is it a month, bro? How much you charging these girls out here?
What was that premiere?
He has an OnlyFans.
Yo, when you edit this, you should silence the sound and just put porn music in the background.
Like
You
70
gotta do that shit
shit?
where they put the link
Yeah.
down here or something.
Damn, yo, it's like 70
This is
shit.
Frank doing this.
When Bush was in the videos, like,
Well, God had the porn stash.
When
out
it
there,
like
right?
when it was
the porn stash.
when it was pure, of course. I'm letting it grow right now.
Gaby's trying to let it go. So
what's
you
your
just
girl
start
think of the porn
I
stash?
never
Like
get
she
that
hates it.
connection to
Of
how
course
you guys
she
got favorite sports teams though.
Huh?
Like I don't get that connection. What was it? I never had that it moment.
in
of, like,
sports.
Yeah,
You never
like, oh, this
connected-
is my
you never
team now.
connected- You never connected to a team.
What
Yeah,
about
like
the,
what was the moment for y'all?
This
Like
motherfucker stays
Frank?
at the
Frank,
Red Bull
talk
games,
to
like,
us
no.
about your Metro Stars.
What the fuck is a Metro
The
Star?
New York Red Bulls.
yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
you watch Red Bulls?
No, Frank's really close to that team, which is the Rebels.
What do you mean he's close to the team?
Oh, what the original name was the Metro Stars?
Yeah,
Just
it was
'cause I
Metro
have
Stars
it.
and then Red Bulls.
Oh, I thought you were a big Metro Stars fan.
My uncle just had season tickets, so that's like
Damn,
that's
Well,
why
I had season tickets.
So you just a freeloader, man. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I thought
That's
you.
why I had this hat.
Frankie just like.
I thought I saw a poster.
Hit it with your dick and got out of there.
yeah, it was his uncle's book.
And that's why I told Steve, I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Favorite team.
Alright.
Love that guy.
I'll shut up.
Love that guy.
Seems
But-
like that's how we became best friends. But thank you.
Alright, so real quick though, for those that have been following the Yankees, you think we're gonna beat Houston?
You can tell we don't watch baseball.
Wait,
No, y'all been watching the Yankees?
Get ahead, Yankee fans.
I just-
hey, I'm a Cincinnati
I don't
Reds
think-
fan,
I
so
don't
we
think
was
they are.
out since like.
No faith.
This is their pitching is way better, bro.
Yeah.
Their pitching is way
Verlander's
Who's
not
pitching?
All the Astros.
Houston.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think Houston.
Verlander, Greinke.
No. All the Houston.
But do we
all
have
gonna get
home
Tommy
court?
John?
Do we got home
Oh,
court?
relax.
Do we got home field advantage?
No, because they had the better
They had a
record.
better record.
If Tampa would have won Game 5, we would have
Dude,
had.
didn't we win like 100 and something game?
Yeah, but they
And
won. They won 104. The
they're winning
Dodgers won
again.
106.
Wait, did I just fucking?
But the Dodgers are in like.
Oh, they got
The
eliminated.
Dodgers is going.
No, but they had that
But
many
not-
because they
yeah.
were in shitty fucking
Oh shit!
conference.
So since they got eliminated, if we make it to the World Series, we do have home field because we would have the best record.
It's tough, man.
We have to beat Houston
When do they
because
play?
we had a better record than Washington and
Tomorrow? They play tomorrow?
I think tomorrow or Sunday's Game 1.
And is Tanaka going to start? Or are they going to say
I don't know
game
who's
3?
doing Game 1.
I don't watch baseball.
That might be
I
tough.
mean, it's the Yankees, dog.
It's the Yankees, bro. Come on, man.
Don't get me wrong, if there's like a fucking parade, I'm definitely gonna be there.
At the parade?
Dick
I wouldn't be there.
Dick eating, right?
I'm not mad at a bandwagon. We got enough room on the bandwagon.
Yeah, you're right.
What's wrong with joining the parade though?
There's nothing wrong
Yo,
with
yo,
it.
I went to the 09
Cleveland
parade.
Browns fan too. Yeah.
Yo, I went to the 09
Hell
parade.
no.
The
That shit was
You're a
terrible.
Patriots fan now.
No,
Who's a
I can't.
Patriot fan?
But
Well.
I like the Chiefs a lot.
I can think right on the Chiefs pause. I don't
My
mind.
homeboy.
But I wasn't mad at the Seahawks game either.
Russell Wilson was badass though. Man.
It's
Did he get injured?
Underrated. No.
I don't even
Nah,
know.
he
didn't.
didn't hit him. You know who
I didn't
did
watch
get
the full
injured?
game.
The backup quarterback to the Steelers.
Wait, that happened to my team as well. Now you have a third stringer, right?
Fucking baptized.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
trying out for the team, so if
Oh,
anybody from
okay.
the Steelers is listening to this,
Just the same offer I made Ralph last week. You want Eli?
fuck no.
Wait, you offered Eli Manning to?
Last week? No, not last week. The week before. I apologize.
No, I don't want the Cabbage Patch Kid. He looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid, bro. Look at his Down syndrome.
Dude, that guy's a retard. Yeah.
The
You
retarded
cannot say-
Brady twin.
He's a retard. I'm sorry.
Hey, I just gotta say
He is.
18-1.
18-1. Yeah. Brady laughed at.
Your
he
defense
helped out
did
17
most
points.
of that.
Guy helped to 14.
Defense can't throw the ball.
So,
But defense wins championships.
This is true.
Yes, but the offense has to make the crucial 2-minute drive to seal the game. Yes.
no, back to Gab's Steelers point.
Time of possession.
What's the timeline on that dude? Like, he lost all of 6th grade on that hit. Sixth
Yeah, you
grade is
gotta
gone.
He got knocked back.
Yeah.
He just-
No,
he
more like
woke up
kindergarten.
I
Yo,
didn't
he-
get hit. How bad was
He
it?
just
It
collapsed
was
like
like he was.
Bro.
He got knocked
It was
out.
fucking-
He collapsed.
Hold on, wait. I'm about to look it up. I'm about to
His
look it up.
arms were like this.
Yo, he collapsed like if there was a sniper in the
Mason
building.
Randolph.
And he got taken out.
Wesley
yo.
Snipes was in the
Mason-
top.
Mason
He
Rudolph
got
hit.
sniped
Now,
out
what
like,
was that movie?
like
The
one, of
Fan?
the, one of the expendables
Robert
was
De
in the
Niro?
building.
His-
Yeah, I got it, I got it.
Who
I got
was the fan? Robert De Niro?
You know where you fall like this.
Yeah. Now he fell, his legs like literally gave out
And
mid
his arms
air,
did this, like you know when you
and
throw
then
the
his
ball.
hands still like
Yeah,
this.
so his hand was still in this position.
Hold on.
I feel so bad.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that might get true.
Nah, he good right there.
Oh!
That was bad, bro. You seen that live?
We did pick up that first down.
Yo, not for nothing, I didn't know that was Juju's boiler.
Juju?
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yo, he's not moving.
Yeah, I thought he died.
No, they'll show it, Frank.
You should see the
They'll
way
show
he
it.
falls.
Can't see with the fucking hand in the way.
Yo, Juju is like legit upset.
Oh, he's crying, dude. He's looking. I didn't know he got it.
Look at what his legs do.
And then look at his hand, look at his hand, look at his hand.
Oh, his fucking whole, yo, his leg is, oh my
Right
God.
on
Oh,
the
yeah,
jaw.
right, cut, right?
Oh!
Right on the jaw.
What was the hit that got him?
No, his eyes went back as soon as he got hit.
I watched enough UFC to know that he got hit right in the butt.
Ooh, I touched it.
I turn that shit up, bro. They're talking about them 6 Super Bowls.
Let's talk about how he completed that pass.
For a first down.
For a first down.
James Washington.
How long do you think he's gonna be out?
That's what I'm asking Gary.
Well, he went back to practice on Wednesday.
The irresponsible bastard.
He's back in practice. He's in concussion protocol, but
He has a concussion for the rest of the season.
he's got a concussion for the rest of his life.
The
For
CT
your body to
report
go
is out.
limp like that, though?
Bro, he
Yo, I
he
heard
got
he-
knocked back to daycare.
I heard he got hit and started talking like that coach from the Water Boy.
Who that is?
Alright, we're not making fun of the fact that he got hit like that. That was.
We're glad that he's okay.
Yeah, glad he's
We're
okay.
sensitive. We're just making fun of the situations that we've all been in.
I've got concussed.
When
Remember
you
that
got
one
hit?
time?
Yo, I got.
Fucking Steve set me the fuck up.
Bro, I got
I'm not
concussed in
saying
a
you
soccer
were
game
Jesse.
and scored a goal.
You were
after.
there.
Oh yeah, Jesse put a lot of people out in our day.
No, it wasn't. It was his fault.
Why?
So we're playing tackle football. Deacon. He's coming at me. Steve runs in front of me. So Steve does this.
Your arm tackle?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he go like this. So I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm about to hit this motherfucker. I don't give a shit. Go low, hit his knee, boom, we both fall. He gets back up. All I remember is Gabby picks me up. Somebody else picks me up, and Gabby goes, yo, what's my name? I say, what did I say?
That's all you got. That's all you
He
got.
go-
He
he
got
go-
the
He goes, God, we good. Nigga, I was going. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready to play. Gabby was like, nah, man, sit your ass down.
Sit this play out, player.
So, concussion's no joke to play with.
This shit is under review.
It's your fault. I'm concussed.
Is that why you like that today?
You know who did a great job with that shit? Motherfucking John, yo.
Yeah.
Remember when you went head to head with Jesse? That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, because he was another fucking.
A joker? He's a joker.
I'm not gonna say that word again.
Shit. Well, we all know my Jets are gonna go 0-6, even though Sam Darnold's coming back.
Who do you play this week?
Dallas,
Yeah,
and then we had the Patriots.
Oh god.
I feel bad. Then we had the Vikings, and then we had the fucking Patriots.
I thought the Vikings were gonna win. I thought that was a winnable game.
We had chances, man. We had chances, but fuck it. Like Sterling Shepard was
What
dropping
happened to
passes.
Danny Dimes became Danny Nichols? Shit.
No, you just realized he played for the fucking Giants.
No, yo, not for nothing. If you watched the whole entire Giant game against the Vikings, as there was a lot of
He didn't play bad.
and
He
then
didn't
here.
play bad.
Yeah.
He had a good game. It's just people was dropping passes, and the Vikings is a good team at the end.
Yeah.
We're building.
Like
good
when
stuff.
Kirk
Say
Cousins,
so.
when Kirk Cousins plays well, they're a good team. Because they got a good defense, they got good running. Just when Kirk
I mean,
is
he
hitting
better
that-
be playing. He gets paid $40 million
I know, I
a
know.
year.
Like
20, was it 28 guaranteed each year for Kirk Cousins?
I love when Pat McAfee goes, he stinks.
Yo, Pat McAfee's
Yo,
hilarious.
not for nothing, he's the next Joe Rogan, dude. I think he's gonna
Yeah.
surpass Joe
Pat?
Rogan. Pat McAfee's
Yeah.
gonna
Really?
surpass Joe Rogan.
He's on another level right now.
Dude, this dude has like 5 podcasts.
And he's
I don't
unstoppable.
even know what podcast he's
He's
on.
a content king.
He's literally like, he got his show, ESPN, then he has another one, then he has another one. Like, dude,
And wait,
and you
and
change
he
your
also
shirt, too?
manages to work for WWE, which, like, and he has like a full-time job with
So
them.
that's what I'm saying.
He's
I
under
think
contract.
Westwood Radio.
Yeah, he's under contract with them. I'm just like,
He's,
bro, you got like 6 jobs. You're like a Jamaican.
look at Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan had one. He does the MMA.
He does the MMA
He's
commentary,
doing
his
podcasts.
stand-up comedy. Shit, it's true.
But I think Pat McAfee's gonna take the podcast game. He's taking it to a whole other level because he's nonstop.
non-stop.
What else we got?
Who's gonna win first? The Dolphins or the Jets?
Dolphins suck, man.
Jets.
Honestly,
Wait,
the Dolphins.
Jets
I
haven't won
think
a game
Dolphins.
Nah,
The Dolphins are tanking on purpose.
Yeah, I think so though. I think they gave up. Dude, the first game.
The Dolphins and the Bengals.
The first game, the
The
players
Bengals
were
are
like,
on
y'all
fire.
need to get traded.
Yo,
The
so
first game, on the point, they asked for
I seen a
trades.
post on the gram that they
Redskins are
said
on
the Dolphins lost on their bye week. Yo.
That's what they used to make those same memes about the Browns.
3 winless teams right now?
So the Redskins are 0-5, the Bengals are 0-5, the Jets are 0-4, and the Dolphins are 0-4.
Because someone called the Jets and Dolphins game the tank ball.
No, I saw it for the Redskins and Dolphins because they play this week.
Are the Patriots going undefeated?
No.
Oh, so then someone's gonna win
That
if the Redskins and Dolphins are playing this weekend. Someone's
Yeah, it's
obviously
gonna be a
gonna win
draw.
from those two
Because-
teams. If that shit is a draw,
Did you guys watch the game last night? Every
Saw some
pass
of
that
it.
every pass that he completed, the Danny Dimes completed to a receiver, there was a fucking Patriot touching the ball. Every single time.
He tried to
That
beat him.
defense is legit, dude.
Yeah.
They might go undefeated again. Well, not again.
Not again, yeah, but
They're gonna have to.
But
do
they
it.
depends how many
they're gonna
games
have the
the
best
Chiefs
record in
win.
the league.
Definitely.
Yeah.
By far. Who they play this? Who they play next week? Nobody
Who,
knows.
the Patriots?
No idea.
Oh my God.
Find out
Oh,
the
they play the
schedule. Find out the
Jets.
schedule.
Oh, the Jets. That's a win.
That's a win. They're gonna go 7-0.
They might put 50 on
Yo,
you.
Tom Brady has so
Nah,
much
because
time.
they got a good coach. As soon as they know that they hit that 30 mark, they pull back, yo. They start putting like.
Has to be some L's on it.
Did you see Tom Brady drop that fumble and just pick it up like it's nothing? Like it didn't even happen?
Because he has that much respect. And people have that much respect.
He had so much time, he dropped the ball, you know, other people, he
But
just
here's my thing.
casually just picked it up.
He's like what, 41?
He still got it, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
Can
He
we?
still fucking got it.
Is it safe to say he's like part of the Illuminati or like he sold his soul? Or
No, Jordan gave him that juice in Space Jam.
Oh, MJ Secret
The
stuff?
MJ Secret stuff.
the secret stuff.
I believe it. I believe it 100%.
I'm just like, yo, fam. But I do attribute a lot of that success to the system as well, because that system, I feel like any quarterback could flourish.
Nah, I don't know about
He got
any, but
Brazilian at
right
home
now.
too. That shit.
Right.
Matt Castle went 11-5. He didn't make the playoffs. He still went
She looked
11-5.
good, too.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett went 3-1.
But
Jimmy
Jordan
Garoppolo
Garoppolo-
went- Jimmy Garoppolo went 4-1.
Well,
What?
But there's what happened to Matt Castle?
he's a lost cause.
Oh, so I feel like it's more. a
Wait,
system
no, but
than
the
a-
team that had an 08.
But if we're talking about pure, like, just skills and ability, quarterback wise, Tom Brady might be the most successful, but I don't think he's the best.
Like technically, like arm strength and
Yeah, and all
accuracy.
that.
Yeah, I mean that's all.
I still think
He's
Russell.
the GOAT, though, at the end of the day.
Okay, successful, yes, because he has 6
Six
Super Bowl rings, but remember, success doesn't mean you're the best athlete
Isn't he
either.
like the top 3 for overall yards? Like top.
I don't know. I don't get into those stats.
He's just
Two.
surpassed
I think
him.
he's not third. Two.
No,
He's number 2, right?
Who has more than him? Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew Brees. Yeah.
And then number.
machine, yo.
Yeah, Drew Brees is.
When they count those stats, it's just you throwing the physical ball or your receiver catching it and taking it.
Oh no, after catch
Yards.
is part
It's
of it.
just yards. It's just what you throw.
Because if you throw, you can throw them open too. You know what I mean? Like it's after the catch also everything.
Wow, so the technology behind it to get all that shit accurate.
Yeah.
It's 2019.
It doesn't matter though, because if he catches it a yard in front of him and he makes a touchdown, and
They
you're
count all
on the
the
20, it's 80 yards regardless.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's easy, man.
Here's a good question. Is Pat Mahomes the best quarterback in the NFL right now?
All day. Ain't nobody fucking with him. He is a more accurate quarterback than Brett Favre. He's the new and improved Brett Favre. Faster than Brett Favre. Wheels wise. Legs.
Oh.
I just hate that
arm strength too. That
He
motherfucker-
can run the ball. He can
You
look.
can throw it
He
out the
can.
stadium, dog.
Dude,
you haven't seen-
harder than Brett
You haven't seen the
Favre.
video? He threw it out the
No,
You
stadium.
seen Brett Favre's fucking wide receiver's hand?
You know.
Wait, hold on. His father played baseball. I'm pretty sure his arm strength is there. He got that. From
He
his
has
dad,
more.
Absolutely.
You know what it is?
He's
When
throwing
Brett
it out of
Favre
the
threw the
stadium.
ball, you can see the torque, but with this guy, it's just effortlessly. He's just like.
Yeah. Same thing with
He
Russell
threw-
Wilson
he
because
threw a
Russell
sidearm like
Russell
this,
Wilson
that shit went
played
like 50
baseball.
yards.
And his throw.
Same thing with Russell Wilson. He has arm strength and he's 5'9". He can see over his offensive line.
You know who had a good arm too? Dan Marino. He was another one.
His release.
No, we're not getting into this. What's the next topic?
Talk to me, man.
No, all I'm saying because Mahomes is on literally.
Does
He-
Mahomes win
He's gonna
MVP?
break the what?
No, but the last 2 games, what do you got? Like 2 touchdowns the last 2 games.
This is better than a lot of.
He's gonna break every record possible though. He's
But
gonna
he-
throw for 6,600
He
yards.
started the first 2 games like 4
Five.
touchdowns or.
Is Tyreek Hill back yet?
No, you're right.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, it is
That
big
makes a big difference.
So when Tyreek Hill comes back, he's just gonna get better. His numbers
You
will
start
get
running
better.
the ball like that.
Yeah, because
opens
they'll
up your
double team
offense.
Tyreek, and then they could run it more, and Kelsey would be open up to the team a little more.
What else you got there, Ray?
I got here Dennis Graham.
Who's that?
Drake's daddy. His
Talking
papa.
about all his
Oh, they got
music.
daddy issues?
Supposedly,
So he said that Drake
Do
made
you
up
think
lyrics.
that's fabricated though? I think that might be fabricated.
you can have daddy issues and you as
Your
a
dad
father
not know? Yeah, for sure. My dad smacked the shit out of me one time, and he's to this day denies that.
He did smack the shit.
That's just like.
I'm like,
no
Paul,
way.
your dad smacked the shit out of me one time. And I left.
Nah, he said that Drake made up lyrics about their relationship to sell records.
I believe it.
I wouldn't put it past Drake.
And what's wrong with that?
He's that's not his. He don't live.
But
with
his
fathers.
MO of all his music is like that's
His life.
His
like,
life.
relationships with people and
Yeah.
just.
I'm like, Drake.
Well, because he said that he said that he
We
talked
can't
to
have a
Drake
Drake
about it. He's like, yo,
conversation
why are
without
you
Drake.
saying all this stuff
Fuck Drake.
if it didn't happen?
That's
Then
true,
he
though.
said that Drake
Drake's
told him,
a-
nah, I'm like doing this to
Drake
sell
advocate.
But how
records.
many rappers do that?
And so his pop's
How
like,
many
oh,
people
if you're doing
lying?
this shit to get a bag, go for it.
But that goes. That
so
goes
he's
to
okay with
that
it
goes to
because I
all
showed
people.
you your first tech. You
That's
That shit on the dresser.
Everybody
shit on
lies.
Like, you know how some dads are. They were like, I visited you twice a year, every year. I was there in your life.
No,
Like,
that don't count. Twice a year.
Ooh, and I'm
Once
like,
a
look
year.
at daddy.
My
issues
nigga's
that
like,
are Frank.
you can still
Or
be
talk to
around
you-
and
or
still be
talk
an
to you on the
absentee
phone.
dad.
oh no, I got.
Oh, you got daddies?
No, I'm just saying.
You
I
know,
never
not
had
to
my
talk
dad.
about
He never took you to the carnival.
You never hugged me.
Yeah,
You never made
I
your
never
dad?
had. Well, I have a dad, but
No, well, of course, nigga, you know fucking.
RoboCop over here.
you know, right, Captain
You're not
Obvious.
fucking.
He said, Frank said, okay, Captain Obvious. It's okay.
But you never met your dad, Frank?
I met him,
You met him?
and then I was supposed to meet him
Swear to
again.
you
should've
and he never
punched him in
showed
the
up.
dick.
Right in his
I don't
fucking
feel
face.
bad. My father left me after I became an adult.
Yeah,
That's how fucked up I was.
Did he tell you? Or he just left.
we all got our own.
He just left.
Where'd he go?
DR. Retired.
Retired.
DK.
Second
He
family.
get retired.
DK retired. At least it.
Just tired of
Is
you.
it found out already? Does he have a little thing over there?
He's just tired
I
again
wouldn't
and
be
again
surprised.
and Joe's
Right,
bullshit.
Not everybody's big as you, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at everybody.
He said this, yeah.
Jesus.
We're going right
No,
back
no,
to
no.
Florida though.
No.
Yeah, he's covering it too. That's the worst part about it. Don't be ashamed. Bro.
No, but that's true. Like the dude's an old age, so I can see what Frank is saying. Like he thought that he was in his life, but in reality, a phone call ain't nothing.
Well, phone call is nothing. If you're not, to me personally, if I don't see Josiah 3 to 4 times a week,
Dude, dad of the year.
Yeah, you fucking.
I'm willing. When's
Showing
Father's
off
Day
over
again?
here.
June something. I'm just willing to get underwear and socks. That's all I want.
That's all. I do look forward to good underwear.
Yeah,
so.
so do I.
I don't know. I leave my children on girls' faces. So.
Yikes.
Okay.
Can't get pregnant in the asshole, huh?
Ralph Lewis about to grab you real quick. Shoots up, he's gotta come back down, right?
Yeah, but is the theory with having sex from the back and missionary? I really, well, we spoke about this before.
Yeah, we went through
I'm not gonna kill that in there. If you hit him from the back, it's a boy. If you do missionary, it's a girl.
Really?
Wait, what?
What?
So right now, all
Where did you hear this?
Too black and white.
What, Black Twitter?
race
Too black
Twitter,
and white.
all you guys were conceived from the back. Each and every one.
I don't want to know
Your
that.
mom was getting smashed from the back.
I just. that
You
shit-
know,
Yeah,
you know why he listens to this.
Who?
I hate
You know my mom was.
So then ask her.
But
No, motherfucker.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What if she
That's
starts
not
listening and in the kitchen always hear her go?
Right now,
Alright.
she's like, mm.
Alright. Grow up.
Yo.
Grow up.
Then you start thinking back.
You just hear Ralph's plate just hit the floor like
Oh,
I told you to edit this.
Pero mijo,
Wait.
he's not lying.
wait. Hold on, wait. So speaking of, so I had this thing. My mom, when she asks to look at pictures on the phone, right? She'll go like this to zoom in, because she can't see. Apparently, you know, parents can't see. So they'll be like, "Oh," I'm like, "Mom, why are you zooming in the pictures
so
right
she's
there?"
swiping accidentally?
No. She just
Oh,
like
okay.
zoomed in. Wait, so yesterday I'm showing her something on this.
She's
So
just
she goes
yo, but no.
she tried to zoom
they
into
make
the fucking laptop.
Yo, but they make
Dude, I
laptops.
have a laptop you can zoom in.
Yeah.
Wait, no, but the MacBooks don't do that. But she caught herself. So then I'm fucking dying.
Mid zoom and shit.
And so wait, the first thing she tells me is, You better not talk about this on your podcast.
Sorry.
You broke that
Sorry,
real
Mom.
fast.
Coño mío.
Yo, she was just, I was like, Mom, what the fuck? Cause she literally was like,
Bro, love
Right
and
now-
she's like, why is it not working?
Right now she's like,
Word. Wait till Monday.
Shafty
Yo,
nasty.
wait till Monday when I get home.
You ever pass somebody your phone? Like, please don't swipe.
We're gonna talk about
Oh,
it, Ellie.
I said, yeah. No, I tell people that when I hand them my phone, I'll be like, yo, don't go left, don't go right.
Unless you want to see but going on your theory, you ever thought about, you ever backtrack your 9 months of what season it was? Like,
It was
for me,
spring.
September, mine was
It's spring.
December.
I got fired
Mine was-
from Against All Odds.
No, what
I
are you talking
forgot
about?
you used to work in Against All
Oh
Odds.
shit, I remember
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm talking about
What do you mean you
were born.
backtracked
Like,
to
your
the
birthday.
season?
No, I'm thinking your own
you don't have to
birthday.
backtrack. You
My
figure out
parents.
what fucking month you were
Like,
born anymore.
you were born when?
Oh, like backtrack when I was.
Oh,
You
you were
were
conceived around
Thanksgiving
November,
sex, yeah.
December.
You were Thanksgiving sex.
But there's no Thanksgiving in DR.
Wait, Frank.
So it's, yeah, it's
Frank,
like
Frank.
Thanksgiving.
Frank.
Sunday.
When were you born?
What do you mean you gotta backtrack to the seasons?
Yeah, just
January.
Like,
Fall, baby.
from your birthday,
When's your birthday, bro? June.
this month,
This month.
October.
Is it really?
Hey.
He's like, it
Yeah,
just
that's
passed,
not
Frank.
bad. Oh,
So
no,
you were
Alice's
New Year's.
birthday,
You were
take
New
it
Year's sex. It was like
Yeah,
the
what
brand
we
new.
doing?
Buzz.
Oh, you definitely got it from the back then. Race theory is starting to prove out here.
That's scary, but
Yeah, you were New
I
Year's.
guess I never thought about it that way. And I
Yeah.
don't want to.
What's the?
Wait, yeah, what's
so
for your
wait,
birthday?
So what, October? So how many months ago? What month was it?
You said January? I'll take you for that,
9
man.
months.
Oh, so-
9 months
There's
of
nothing to
conceiving.
do,
So
especially.
January?
Were they in Colombia or were they out here?
They were out here.
Oh, so there's nothing to do.
I was born in Elizabeth.
Are you really?
It was New
You
Year's
sweet?
sex. What do you want?
But that's a good question,
that?
right? What are we doing for Steve's birthday?
Yeah, what we doing?
Ask your dad.
Elizabeth General?
Ask your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, Elizabeth, shout out to Elizabeth General.
R.I.P. Elizabeth.
AKA
Uh,
Trinitas.
Alright, you mean Trinidad?
Trinity Trash.
So
Is that building still up?
Trinidad?
The building is up, but they don't use anything
Dude, it
there.
improves, baby.
No, not the Trinitas General.
No, the Elizabeth General. The
I'm like,
building's
yeah,
still up.
my-
What about the old
my
dad
uncle Tito
piece
lives
that's a
there, yeah.
they park cars there now.
He homeless.
the parking garage? Or
He'll wash a car like a motherfucker.
And they put a credit union in there. Cause
We
you
got
got
repayment coronitas. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you.
to wash your car.
Yeah.
You get a good
Man,
house.
when somebody hands you a Coronita, though, like, give me a man beer. Like,
No,
for that Coronita.
I respect
True though,
the
bro.
no,
Coronita
because it's
popular for a
efficient.
little
while.
It's efficient. Not
Those
everyone.
motherfuckers can't finish a
Bro.
can of beer. We just poured out like 15 of them shit.
That's why I would take the Coronita, because you can't finish a whole can.
I'm arguing against
I
myself.
ain't drinking
Yeah.
Corona at all. Don't hand me a Corona ever.
You
Again.
don't like Corona at all?
I don't know.
You rather Bud Light?
I don't like that.
I'll
either.
drink
That's what I got right now.
What do you drink then?
I like Guinness,
Okay.
You like Modelo?
but like the Goose. I'm
You
a
a
big
Modelo guy.
IPA guy.
I like Modelo. I don't like
I'm a
Guinness.
big IPA.
Small Bradley. He put the watch.
I
on.
don't like Guinness though. I don't
He
know.
got
it's
me
too
on
dark,
Allagash White.
Allagash.
Oh, that's my shit.
Allagash White. He got me on Allagash White.
Allagash, right. If we
Allagash
talk about that
White.
kind of beer,
What
yeah.
about Little Hazy Thing?
If you go to Ray's, you drink fucking Michelob Ultra.
Nah, Ray
Michelob
got that
Light.
fat tire. That shit's disgusting.
No, Fat Tire is good.
I do Michelob now. I'm trying to watch my cards.
Oh yeah, me too. I'll do
What'd
it.
you drink, Paulito?
Coors Light, baby. That's just like
Coors
Gatorade.
Lights? Oh, yeah.
He said that's like
Shit's like
no, not for
Gatorade.
nothing. You got a good point because you don't wake up as
Coors Light.
dehydrated when you drink Coors
Oh,
Light.
that's a white ass beer, yo.
That's the whitest beer.
It's good when you're thirsty though.
But it's
Surprised you didn't say the,
but it's clutch though. It's clutch. The Coors Light is clutch.
I was fucking with Keystones and Rolling Rocks for a little bit.
Keystone.
Keystone is beer pong beer.
That shit sounds like a drug.
Paulito's one natty ice away from dropping the N-bomb.
Yeah, I never did heroin.
With the hard R?
With the ER.
The hard R.
Not knowingly.
No, Coors Light, yeah, just because it's refreshing and low calories.
I'll take that.
Not that it's a commercial.
I
I think.
wanna
But we giving a lot of these companies a little.
What are we
too
doing?
much.
What are
What
we
about you,
doing?
Frank?
What are we doing for your birthday?
Frankie, what
Yeah.
you like?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
The Red Zebra does when brunch.
When is it?
Damn,
Shout
Red
out to
Zebra.
Red Zebra.
I'm
Red
surprised you
Zebra.
know that. I'm surprised you know that, Paul.
Hey,
Where
You was telling me earlier this year, oh, we need to do a brunch. We need to do a brunch.
Mm.
Who you shushing?
Are you hiding from him, bro?
He's hiding.
Did
You're
you
hiding
have
the
a
child?
house? No, that's
Shut
fucked
up.
up.
Shit.
Our brothers.
He was
No,
like,
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing yet.
We as in everybody.
Well, yeah, no, I don't know.
Yo, Steve's gonna go out with Phil and not tell him none of
No,
this.
no,
Yeah,
Shit.
that's exactly what's going
I
on.
say we go to the Discovery Zone, man.
the Discovery Zone.
Is there? Is Steve even open?
There's one.
Steve's gonna do something cool.
Wait, How do you know there's one?
Steve's
Why do you
gonna
know there's
leave,
one?
like, he's gonna go to
Yeah,
Mexico.
he's gonna do something
I
cool and not
want
tell
to
nobody.
shit like that.
It's gonna be him and Phil on the beach.
Phil's gonna break up with his girlfriend.
Phil's girlfriend taking the picture. Bros holding beers.
It's just
You
bro
took
and
selfies.
dad.
You took selfies with.
Shout out to Phil though. Phil
Yeah,
was
for
fire,
real,
man.
for real.
Yeah,
Dude,
man.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I
I'm
fuck with
not
Phil. I'm
this
just
is
fucking with Steve right
That's
now.
a funny ass dude though, yeah.
Yeah, you crazy.
I still dunk him
What's
in
Phil
college.
doing right now?
You probably home.
getting ripped.
I don't know. Probably doing that too.
He did get fucking big as shit. He was as small as fuck. Now he's huge. Pause.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You have an idea? Are we drinking at least?
Nah.
You still got some time. Still got
The
some
Red
time.
Zebra doesn't
Wait,
have
what, your birthday is
brunch.
the 20.
Second.
Somebody hit that on the calendar. See what day that is.
27. Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, so you know.
Of course I know.
So you trying to do something on that Tuesday or like on
no,
the weekend?
definitely not a work day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely
Steve is
not a work day.
responsible, man.
Definitely not a work day.
No, he's not. Cause
Yeah.
he's been trashed at the black hole.
Wait, the
Fucking
18th
next
could be
day.
that Friday.
It's
Friday could be the
Saturday.
birthday episode for Steve.
You don't get
Steve,
trashed
Well, he was
responsible.
supposed to.
Steve responsible.
I seen him eat a box of nerves out of a girl's butthole one time. Man.
Wait, a box of what?
Were you with Sam Darnold?
Nerd.
Were you with Sam Darnold?
I don't know who that is.
Is you using ass?
No.
Back in
But
with
he's
some
lying.
nerds.
Drunk on your birthday, you
Nerds
gotta,
out of a girl's
you gotta
asshole.
try to have birthday
People.
sex though. At least.
Don't judge. People might do that.
Yeah,
Yo, did you guys hear about
Gary's like,
Tekashi
I did
69
it.
signing a fucking contract
that's crazy.
in jail?
Yeah, that's
Wait, who?
Tekashi 69 signed a contract for $10 million in jail. How?
I don't know.
I think
How long is it gonna last?
Someone's gonna kill him. He's not gonna enjoy that contract. Someone's gonna kill him.
I don't think so, dude. $10 million?
I don't believe nothing that comes out of
No,
that.
with that kind of money, you have. As I said, with that Tekashi money, I mean,
It
you
is
have.
Tekashi money.
You have no. I mean, you could buy security. I mean, like there's.
In
$10
prison.
million will go by really
I
fast.
gotta say, put it on somebody's books.
Yeah, that's true.
Put it in my commissary.
He could blow up for like a year and make.
The
fucking
dude's
millions.
like 19.
How do you?
$10 million is
Yo,
not a lot.
wait, but he's refusing witness protection.
Because you can
For
fucking...
like a lifespan and shit? To have 24-hour security? That should've.
I think it's like 1 or 2 people.
Shit is war.
Is that $10 million not a lot of money?
To have that level of security.
What kind of level of security do you think he needs?
24-hour.
1 or 2 guys.
Like a team of motherfuckers.
But he can't have that in prison. Unless they were prisoners
Well, I
themselves.
Let's talk about after
Do
you
you
get
guys
out.
think he's gonna get out soon?
He needs to call.
Yeah, of course he did. He was a cooperating witness.
I think he's coming out before Christmas. He's gonna spend time with his family on Christmas.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they gonna put him in like a regular little.
And then New York's gonna become a war zone and he's gonna get shot.
I don't think nothing's
And
gonna
someone's
happen.
gonna kill him.
He's probably not gonna live in New York.
And he's still
Where you gonna
drop
hide
out.
this motherfucker?
He refused witness
Jersey.
protection.
Don't
He's
Jersey.
not. He's
Dude, he's got a fucking
Bergen
big ass
County,
6
that's
line
it.
tattooed on the side of his. Where you gonna hide this
That
nigga?
shit
You're not gonna. This motherfucker's gonna
sticker.
hide.
That shit you gonna peel that.
Stop.
Fucking sticker.
I used to do those too when I was in school.
No, I'm with Gabby on this. Like, where are you gonna hide, bro? I'm sorry, you got tattoos on your fucking
if he
face.
stays in New York, I'll be highly disappointed.
He
I don't
will.
think he's gonna stay there. He's gonna be in front of
I
East
mean, you're
Home.
asking for it, dude. You know.
He will. Because he refused.
You think when he paints his hair, he's in the mirror like the Joker?
Yeah.
Oh shit, how's that suit?
Yeah, so whoever watched the Joker, you guys like the Joker?
I love.
No deep dive, but you know.
No, dude, it was good, but I'm not rushing to the theater to watch it again.
Okay.
I think it was dope, and I knew it was gonna be dope because Joaquin Phoenix is a really good actor.
Amazing actor.
He's
The
really
acting
good.
on this movie.
He really
was
gets
next
into
level.
his shit.
Do you think he's gonna win Best Actor though?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that kind of performance.
Unless
He went
unless
balls deep in that performance.
How do you guys feel like me personally, like the way he transformed his body, dude? Like that's next level shit right there, dude. Next level. He became a crazy person.
So this
for
is
this role.
Yeah,
I understand what your concern
He
was
is a
about.
crazy person.
Yeah, his might be. But I understand
He
what
is
you're
fucked
saying in
up.
terms of do you think they'll even give the movie props because it's a comic book movie? Remember, they're not pushing it as one.
Yeah, they're not. pushing
It's
it
going
as
to
much.
film
Oh, I
festivals.
didn't know that.
Comic book movies don't go to film festivals.
This is one of
It
those
went to
things
Toronto. It went to
Also,
Cannes
it's like
Film
a legit-
Festival.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I
a
know
prestige movie.
DC just said, okay, you can
Dude,
the
yeah.
right here, the rights to it, yeah.
Oh shit.
It doesn't
When
really
you
tie into any comic book like
The DC universe.
Universe,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you look up the movie, right, and it'll say like, oh, Joker is 2019. They say psychological thriller. That's what they're calling it. They're not calling it a comic book movie. They're not calling it an action. They call it a psychological thriller. It has horror elements to it. Him killing people, the way you killed that fat guy in the apartment.
Yeah, that was balls.
Like, there's horror elements to it. There's, you know, obviously the inspirations from Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, you know, Martin Scorsese movies.
You think why they put De Niro in that?
He took the role because of
Because
what
of
they were
that?
gonna do at the end.
Oh, okay.
He took that role specifically because of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What-
Because
hold on,
he
real
felt.
quick.
Remember, did you see the King of Comedy?
No.
All right, watch that movie. That scene. There's a big
Is
similarity.
that the one that Jim Carrey played?
No, that's the Truman Show.
You talking about the
No,
Kings
no,
of
no, no,
Comedy?
No, I'm talking. There's a Martin Scorsese movie.
Hold on, real quick. I'm with God because the whole time you guys were talking on the comic book out podcast, I'm like, yo, I watched this.
Cedric the
Comedy.
Entertainer?
Okay, no.
Robert De Niro's trying to be a comedian.
Yes.
Oh,
The King of Comedy, not the
he's a
Kings of
comedian.
Comedy.
I know, but the whole time
So,
we were recording,
exactly,
I was
so
like,
it's a
shit,
more-
I don't remember Robert
it's a-
De Niro in the Kings of Comedy.
It's a Scorsese movie. That final scene is the
You feel me?
inspiration.
right
place.
after D.L. Hughley.
He was in Joaquin Phoenix's shoes in that movie.
You felt that way, right?
He was an aspiring
He said he
comedian.
came on.
That's why he
came on
took the
after
role.
Theo.
Because he figured, he was like, yo, this is like poetic.
Because you can't go after Bernie Mac, because that motherfucker.
When I see that motherfucker.
When I see that motherfucker.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting there. I'm like, yo, what?
I thought you meant, what's the
you talk about?
the stand-up comedian that Jim Carrey played?
Oh, you talking about
Kaufman.
Andy
Kaufman.
Kaufman. When you said that, I thought you were.
Okay, you
that
thought it was the Andy
Because
Kaufman
he
thing,
was
yeah.
he was fucked in that movie, and even Jim Carrey says that playing.
Oh,
that
Man on the
role
Moon.
fucked
Man,
him up.
yeah.
He was like, what did he say? He said a part of him is still in me.
Do you so that's
Yeah.
that's a good segue to talk about. Do you think that's gonna follow Joaquin Phoenix in his life?
I think Joaquin Phoenix was like that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turned into
If
it.
you
Oh, shit.
followed him,
Okay,
Like,
that
he
dude
hurt
is
me
weird.
kinda
that's
like
something to
He's
He
the
is-
type
he
of
is-
guy
he
who
is weird.
involve himself in that.
He's very
You know
selective
who's
with
getting
his
fucked with that?
He's selective with the type of movie. He literally does like one movie every like 2 years or 3
Shia
years.
LaBeouf is getting himself fucked with.
He's a meth. Yeah, he does method acting.
he's a method actor.
He says he's not a method actor, but he goes like hard.
goes hard in
His
it.
recent one, what was it? The peanut butter or
Oh,
whatever?
Peanut Butter Falcon was amazing.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yes,
Sounds
Peanut
like
Butter
crazy ass
Falcon
porn.
It's a really good movie. Go watch it. I'm telling you.
What's it about? Is it gonna depress me?
He helps
Am
like
I-
a Down syndrome kid get
Oh,
across
yeah.
country or some shit like
You know
that.
what's funny?
But he plays like this trailer park kind of like loner guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the mental space that he put himself in for that one movie, that veterans movie, where he was like,
Oh,
homeless and
Fury?
shit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, the one that he's homeless. Like he comes back as a retired
Oh,
vet, and
shit.
then like he loses his family. It's like based on
Oh,
a true
you're
story.
right, you're right.
Like that shit fucked with him. After he did that movie, he don't look the same no more. But his acting is top notch.
No, he's good.
Just
Steve,
do it.
I was gonna say when Joaquin did those, you know, late night talk shows, interviews, you could see it very
It was
similar
uncomfortable, yeah.
to like
They
the
said he walked
Joker.
off on one of them. That's all.
He would do
Because
the
he was so
random
Yeah,
shit.
when I was watching the Joker, I was like, holy shit, this feels like it's
Did you ever see his documentary where he was like telling everyone that he was retiring from acting and becoming a rapper?
Yeah.
He had everybody fooled.
Oh, when he had the
thought
full
it was.
beard? Yeah.
He thought it. He told everybody, no, this is real. This isn't for a movie. None of that
Did
shit.
he have bars?
And then at the end of the day, it was a. I didn't hear anything. At the end of the day, it was for a documentary. He wasn't really, but he had everybody fooled. Everybody thought it was real.
To talk about documentaries, I was listening to another podcast, the Andrew Schultz podcast,
Okay.
and they were like,
Wait, which one? Because he's on like 600 billion.
well, he was reviewing like the Joker movie, and Akash, he said he would love to
Flagrant
see,
2?
yeah, he would love to see a documentary of them recording him on how he became the Joker for that time frame. Or
I guarantee
recording
we'll
throughout-
see it on a Blu-ray release.
That would kill more than the movie, I think. Us watching him become the
I don't know if I
Joker.
want to see that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see that.
I would.
I don't know if I want to go behind the
Why
curtain
would
too
you
much
wanna
on
see
that.
that?
Yeah.
We touched this a little bit on one of the episodes when we were talking about that documentary with the Central Park people. Like
Central Park 5.
some of that shit you shouldn't see.
I didn't
Like,
watch that
shit'll fuck
show.
with your head.
When they see us, I didn't watch it only because
Maybe
we
selfish
were
of me to
alive
watch
when
it.
that shit happened and we saw it on the news.
Because you
But
want
my
to
thing is, that's not something I want to
I think
see.
that's what it is, because I want to see what it is that he put himself through.
Okay, gotcha. The
Because
preparation.
with Central Park, these are true life events. This is all
a figment of his imagination. Obviously, he's trying to put himself into.
But you're
that mind
purposely putting this like trauma in your own head to get into.
frame. So
this
you
character.
think that it'll affect me in a sense?
I think it'll affect
Yeah.
you watching
'Cause it
what
affects
the
everybody.
limit that someone can push themselves to. If that
Like
makes
while
sense.
I love the movie, I walked out of it feeling uncomfortable.
This is the reason I say that. When you watch a horror
Not
movie
me.
or when you watch any kind of movie, you know it's fake at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you watch a documentary on someone doing something like this,
Mm.
you're gonna take away like you're gonna have feelings towards
okay.
it. Like now you're gonna feel bad for him. Now you're gonna you know what I'm saying?
That
So
makes sense.
So that might fuck with you.
I don't know if you
That makes
guys seen this, but the Jimmy Fallon interview post Joker Joaquin.
No.
You guys ever seen that?
Is he
Is
creepy?
Is that the one he walked
it
off?
was no. So after Joker, he did a Jimmy Fallon, late night talk show. So Jimmy Fallon, and he was like so weird the whole time. Jimmy
You can
Fallon.
tell that he's not there.
Yeah, so Jimmy Fallon's like, oh, we're gonna play some outtakes, and he's like not prepared for what they're gonna show, and they did outtakes of the Joker.
Oh, it's the one when he's screaming at the guy.
And he's talking to himself. The camera's still rolling, but he's not in script, and he still has all like
Oh, you
all,
seen the video?
all the white
The makeup.
the makeup, and he's just like talking to himself, and he's like, when a crazy person talks to himself, he's like, oh, he thinks I'm not enough, blah blah blah, and he's like fuck, and he like literally like talking out
He's
loud,
upset.
and then so they go back to the show, and Joaquin is like so like disturbed, like why would you play that without asking me? Like you make me look like a fucking
Nuts.
like
Like
a
a nuts.
lunatic, and he was like cursing out I think it was the director
Or the producer.
or the
whoever.
producer,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
guy named Larry. He was like, wow, now I don't know what to say to Larry. I don't know, you guys put me on the spot and shit like
Oh,
that.
shit.
And then it was just like so fucking
So that was
weird.
real personal.
Yeah,
to him.
if you guys
Yeah.
look that shit up on YouTube, like do it tonight. It's like
And he's
really
also someone who's very like.
Look at you giving out links and shit out here.
weird. Nah, I'm just saying that's
Trying
why
to
I
say
say
it.
Segue Steve.
Yo.
He's trying to steal your segue.
Steve's like,
See, Steve
subscribe.
getting into his potting bag today.
Cause he's like, yo, check it out on YouTube.
No, it actually gave me the chills because I saw that before I saw the Joker,
Mhm.
and
Oh, that made you want to watch it even more then.
yeah, no, but I've seen his interviews, before the actual
When did
movie
you
was
watch that
made.
shit?
2 days ago.
Hey, me too.
2 days ago.
Y'all went together?
2
I
days
see
ago.
him
I
in
saw.
Yo, and let's talk about that real quick. Like, where'd you go watch it?
What's that shit on 18 by Rubens? Little
yeah.
strip mall.
You wasted your money.
The Woodbridge Mall. I mean,
You know why?
Uh,
Because the fucking Linden Theater has that Dolby shit.
Yes.
Oh,
Dog.
the cinema?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yo, it was crazy. I couldn't.
You mean
I
like
couldn't
the
catch
digital-
it there. And I
digital,
live down the street from that shit.
The screen is huge.
Dolby Cinema. That's what it's called, yeah.
But
Dolby.
the sound, brother, like
I heard
seats
it perfect.
wrong.
Seats
Hold
vibrate.
on, real
Yeah, I
quick,
saw-
so
I had
did
to
the
show
sound
that.
make a difference?
It
Like,
made a
with
100%
him,
difference.
with him kind of
Yeah.
like moving his face and you
the
hit
car
smack.
crash, like any rumble, like when the music would hit, you would feel that shit, yo. And I'm like, bro, this is the way to watch a movie.
That's how
I was
watch,
so mad
I
at
watch
myself.
my, when
I
I
didn't
go
watch.
there, I watch the movies in Dolby. There's no other way to watch it.
I was mad I didn't watch.
Yes, there is another way to watch it. You just fucking watch it.
No, but the experience is different.
I don't even feel like I'm actually there.
No. I'm saying the
But it's a different.
experience.
It's a different because me personally, I feel like the whole him grabbing his face and hearing the smack and him, the way he ran and you hear the way he runs, it's an awkward run almost.
It is an awkward run.
Like sound was, I gotta rewatch.
Even
it.
walking
I
too. His walking was awkward.
The thing
Afterward.
that creeped me out the most was his laugh.
I love the fact that they made it uncomfortable.
Well, God, you were talking about the laugh, like it's a real thing, right?
What'd you think about the laugh? That shit was dope.
No, but
Okay,
you're
that's-
saying it's like a real condition.
No, it's a real.
Oh yeah,
thing.
that's a real
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, it is a real condition.
It's called pathological laughter.
So it's like a form of
So-
Tourette's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so you laugh and it actually hurts you.
Yeah.
So instead of you
What do you
looking,
mean it hurt you?
It's like
It hurts.
you're
It's like
laughing
physically
and you
hurt,
can't stop yourself from
You
laughing.
can't
You're
stop.
like
It physically hurts him.
Like you're
That's why
losing
in the scene in the bus, he gave the lady the card to let her know, like, this is an illness. I'm not laughing at you.
yeah,
This is part of my illness. I laugh because it
it's
hurts.
It's medical.
Yeah, it's a medical thing.
But
But she still looked at him like he was a fucking
What
weirdo.
did you guys think of that though? Like, you
I
felt
thought that was like the cream. Yeah, I mean like that shit was like top notch. Like
So,
that's how it should be. Like you know, look at Macho Man. No, it's I thought it like sealed the movie because that
So-
laughter anybody could laugh crazy, but if you're like laughing
But
at
how did
me
you
but
guys
you're in
feel when he
pain,
was leaving the locker room and he laughed and he just
Stop
stopped it?
spoiling shit, motherfucker.
Don't
Nah,
watch
it's true.
it.
Sorry, spoiler
If you
alert.
didn't
No,
watch
no,
it,
the acting was top notch. Like he's like when you talk
How
about
do you
acting,
guys rate the movie then?
Oh, 10 out of 10.
I think the movie's a
Paul?
really good movie. I just wouldn't rush back to see it again. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's
You
on
don't wanna
TV,
put yourself through that?
No, no, no. All right, on a
Out of
scale
10.
of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
like a 7.
I get 7, 8. I give it 7. Performance. His performance
Performance
was
is
a
10.
fucking
What about you?
above
Melo?
top 10.
I give it
An 8?
Eight.
What about you guys?
11.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I give it like it's for
I-
me it's perfect.
7,
Like,
8.
I know I might be the only one here, but
You ain't
think
watch it?
for me, I
So we're
relate
just
more to
butchering
this
this movie
Joker than
It's
Heath Ledger.
He becomes the Joker at the end.
Well, like I said, there is
I
there
think
is a
I
very
think a lot of-
distinct.
I think a lot of
But
people
that's the
do.
thing. There's a very distinct difference because
There is.
the Joker in Dark Knight, like I said earlier in our
Two
other
different
recording,
Jokers.
he was an arsonist.
Oh, it's two totally
Two completely different characters. He
Arsonist. I think I heard that before.
he was an arson and
Yeah,
an
but set
anarchist,
shit on fire.
and he wanted
It's
it.
an old. That was an.
Whale's
an arsonist is-
vagina.
No, it's an old wooden ship used in the Civil War, right?
I don't know about all that.
No,
What
that-
did he say?
But he was that, and he was also an anarchist. Like he even says it in the movie. Let's introduce a little anarchy to the order.
Yeah,
He wants to disrupt the order.
Burn
Joker was this Joker. He had serious beef with people. This movie shows how horrible we are as a human, like as society. We're pieces of shit because
Society.
yeah, right.
What an amazing
That's
person.
subjective.
as a unit, we ain't shit.
Oh, as a team? Oh, yeah,
As a
you
unit,
suck.
we ain't shit. I'm not talking about
Are we talking
individuals.
teams?
No, listen.
Are
I'm
you
not.
choosing sides?
I'm not talking about
I wanna get
individually.
straight
No,
in.
individually, obviously, we all
You're
have
talking
our
about
own thing.
society.
But as a whole,
No, it's a society. We're
we ain't
fucked.
shit.
Like how
We don't give a shit
I get
about.
what
we
you're
don't
saying.
give a shit. We don't
nobody.
give a shit about the downtrodden.
Think
We
about it.
really
If I
don't.
see you
But we
slowed
wanna
up,
complain
I'm
about
gonna
it.
pick you up. But if I see a regular person, like, damn, like, why are you there? You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll question why they're in that situation versus just helping them up.
You know why I feel
Good
like
job,
that way? It's
Grouch.
kind of like when you see somebody on the street and they're like asking for money. Like that shit bothers me. And my wife's like, no, you never know what situation they're in, da 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 da. And then you're like, yo, you don't know what situations we came in.
Mm-hmm.
And we grinded through and we got through, and you over here got the nerve to ask for money.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you'll see on the other street corner, like somebody else selling water or selling flowers, and you're like, why are you asking for money? Why are they working for money?
Why they not? Why they hustling? Why
Right.
they not?
Uh-huh.
You're not looking. You're looking for.
So like
anything that's not working.
someone's pity could be someone else's trying.
Word.
But think of it this way: that movie kind of opened up your eyes in a sense. You know what I mean? Like you see people.
No,
who
but that's what we were
struggle.
just talking about society. Like you were like, when
Yeah.
his
Did you
great
feel-
line is that like if that was me, you would walk over me, but because they were rich people, it's
You're
a
not.
big deal.
Exactly.
And that's.
But
a
that self pity is it's in here, because you can turn yourself out of that.
Oh yeah, of course,
You know
of
what I'm
course. You can't be weak-minded in a sense, and it sucks to say weak-minded, but I feel how do I say it?
Well, I know exactly what
I
you're
don't want to
saying.
say weak-minded
Because
because
you're
you
not saying
have
weak,
to be more assertive. Does that make sense?
Alright.
In your own mind, I guess you can say.
I guess you guys touched on this.
But
on
yeah,
both.
also think of it in the context of like, remember, it's them rebelling. It's him and like people of the lower class rebelling against the 1%.
Oh.
It's rebelling against the people with
that
money.
I do want to say it touched really good, right?
Because we're going through that shit now.
Yeah, yeah.
Us,
We're
the
like-
99%, we're rebelling against the 1%. We're like, no, fuck you. You guys can no longer be the ones that are making the rules
1%.
just because
Who,
you make an obscene amount of money.
Who made this movie?
Todd Phillips, he directed the movie. He directed the Hangover trilogy and he directed Old
Who
School.
wrote the movie?
He wrote it.
He wrote the
He
movie.
helped write it.
Oh, okay. Because what they did, they tied a lot of good like actual comic book elements.
Yeah.
Like they tell you why he has such a following, like why the Joker has the Joker gang and all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
They
yeah.
tied in a lot
So
of that.
he made an interesting
So that was
comment.
cool.
Like the week after.
So
the
is he a
movie was
comic book
released.
guy? Like what? Or is he did like the Hangover?
No, for him
He
this
did a couple
movie.
movies that I didn't even know.
So he was a comedy
I would have
director.
never. I would have never.
But the
expected
comment
him
he
to
made
be
this
that.
week was he's like he left comedy because woke culture was killing comedy for him. So that's why he decided to move into serious
they
movies.
referred to this as a
They were-
comedy in this.
They
in
were
this- in
moving
this
into
film, too.
that's why he decided to go
This is
into
those
serious
tragedies
films.
and shit.
So he was like, no, that's why I decided to start making serious films. But for him, this is like a case study in literally the human
So-
condition of
He did Old
mental
School,
illness. Yeah, he
I
did
wanna-
Old School.
I
He
wanna
did the Hangover trilogy.
He did the old school.
Yeah, he did Old School.
Oh
He
shit.
did a lot of funny shit.
Yeah.
But like a lot of
He
stuff
came from
that,
a comedy
lot of
background.
stuff
But they
that-
say a lot of comedians are dark inside.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at
Look
Seth
at Robert
Rogen.
Williams.
Look at Seth Rogen. That motherfucker dark. Have you ever heard his like an interview with him? You be like, oh, he something
Yeah.
is not.
There's
all
a
the way
switch
there.
different.
But real quick, when did you guys think he finally like
it clicked like nobody fuck with me? Was it after the hospital scene
When he killed his mom.
when he killed his mom, or was it when he finally
Spoiler
killed the family?
alert.
I already said spoiler alert.
I think when he killed Robert De Niro.
No,
At the
no,
end?
he
No.
was, he was gone before that.
He was gone before
I
that.
want to
Well, he's
say
been gone
in
from
the
the
train
start.
station is when he started realizing like
I
when
think
he
so.
shot
I
him.
think-
But if you notice, he was going there actually to kill himself. He was gonna kill himself.
Oh,
on
the
camera.
whole movie he's
He
doing
was
this. The whole
practicing.
movie
Yeah,
he's doing
exactly. But once he realized why he was actually there
Yeah.
to be made fun of,
Oh, he was gonna give it back.
that's when he was like, all right, you know what?
Because his
Fuck you.
punchline was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, no, fuck you. He's like, you know what? I killed these guys,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt good. I'm tired of, hiding the fact that I actually enjoyed it. Like,
I think they missed. That was the one point in the movie I think they missed. I think he should have just shot, walked up, laughed, and then just walked off the stage. Instead of
No,
just
that was
sitting.
no, that's a little too on the
When
nose.
the cop
It's too
tackles
on the
him,
nose. Yeah.
that shit was
Yeah.
perfect, bro. Because it shows live, like, the TV cuts,
Mm.
like, the broadcast cuts, and then the behind-the-scenes footage is him getting fucking tackled like any other fucking place. You
Yeah.
can't just walk out of somewhere scot-free. I just...
It could
I
have been.
think to me the when he switched was when he was like when he went to the therapist and she was like, yo, the budget is done, like you
Yeah.
can't do this anymore. He was like,
You don't,
when
you
am I
don't
supposed to get
listen.
my medicine then?
And then he told her,
He's like,
don't
you're
listen."
not listening.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, now,
And that's
now
when
this
you start-
motherfucker's about to start flipping.
Exactly, and that's
See
when
the
you
ending?
realize
When you
that
see the
everything
footprints
was
of blood,
a
he killed her.
delusion.
He killed her.
She wasn't his girl. She didn't go see him do stand up.
So you're just gonna give her the whole movie?
I'm sorry, I said spoiler alert.
Don't watch it. Just watch. Just hear this.
Just hear this, and then you'll be like, I don't need to watch it.
But that's my thing. It's just when you saw that, that's when you saw the unraveling. Why? Because he didn't have any medication.
Well, they're saying at the end when he ended up in this
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum, and remember the end? They were like, was that him just hallucinating again?
They said
Yeah, he
that. A
went
lot of
through-
people said that.
All that?
No,
what
or
I'm
was
saying?
he a crazy person? Or was that
Was
all
he a
true?
patient all along?
Exactly.
Was he a
Did
patient
he ever
all
go
along?
out? Was that all true?
Was there
Man,
a
that's a
cutscene?
good theory.
Was there a
Because you
cutscene?
could actually
I
see him
didn't
like
say
he,
it. I
you could see him like he's
No,
been
there
in
was
there.
no end credits.
But you could see like he had gray hairs. You could see him like he's been in there for a minute.
So that
Minute.
might have been a figment of his imagination, or maybe that's just him replaying it over and over and over.
Because if you think when he went back to when he was,
It had to be real.
thought
Like
he
the
was with his
Joker,
girlfriend.
that whole thing happened.
Because I love the
Did
fact
you guys
that
notice?
they cut in and out of like reality and okay, is this true?
Yeah.
But how do we not know the whole thing wasn't a figment of his imagination?
Did you
the
see
whole
at
And
the
then
end
he went
when-
crazy.
And you saw it at the end when he was walking out. You saw the footsteps.
Yeah.
It was
with the
blood.
He killed her.
He killed her.
He killed her. I think that's.
So I think that's when they switched
And
it
that's
and
our
said, no, this
Joker
happened.
review.
Next subject.
We gonna talk about cuffing season, but everybody here's either bag.
Before we leave that,
I'm not bagged in
my
town.
man Ray
It sounded like
is next
dead
level
body.
hustle.
What are you talking
Why?
He was like, I asked him, I was like, are we potting this week? Because Friday I'm taking the wife out to go see the Joker movie. He was like, no, I got you on the bootleg. And I was like, dog, I don't have a DVD player. Like, where the fuck am I gonna find a DVD player? And he was like, nah, I got that shit on the SD card. I'm like, your bootleg man is next level right now.
Bro, man.
Yo, he is three. Yo, he
I-
is 3 for 10, 5 for 20 at the barbershop.
With the SD card?
I was ready.
And then he hits me on Thursday like, yo, I got it if you need it. I was like, nah,
Wait, is
brother.
that how you saw
He
it?
said, I'm gonna. No, I went to the movie. I went to Union because I saw it, and then they had like a whole bunch of bullshit. Like
Ray was in the theater in Union like this.
Oh yeah. I was like, Paul, I got you.
I got you. Nah, but shout out to Ray trying to be a bootleg man, yo.
Yo, I'm ready, dude.
Trying to take on the
I'm
hustle.
trying to quit my 9 to 5.
To Huang Ming and
Nah, he that guy from Martin with the
Bro, man, from the
with the
fifth
free
floor.
range chicken.
Well, speaking of videos and shit, like, are you guys getting any responses towards like the last 2 episodes we did, that 2-parter?
I don't get a lot of feedback on that shit. But as far as like people talking to me, like in person, yeah, everybody was digging it.
You know what's crazy? I went to the September to Remember shit at on Wood Ave. Dude, you know
Isn't that like a Kia sales event? Like September to Remember? You bought a
Most car
No, no,
dealerships.
no, it's the shit that they had at festival on Wood Ave.
Mm.
A lot of people that stopped me like, oh yo, good shit. Like yo, the episode we spoke about the strippers. People were like, yo, that shit took me way.
Yo, yeah,
back,
yeah.
bro.
Jonathan hit me with like, thank you for saving lives out here. Great full snitch on me.
Crazy, he hit me up too.
Who's
A lot
Jonathan?
G's little brother.
Oh yeah.
But
We were talking about the time that
man.
somebody had a $1 left at the strip club.
oh,
It was him.
Oh, it was. Oh, it was.
Dog. It was either him or Alex. What are you doing?
It was. No, let me stop. I'm not snitching on nobody no more. I promise.
Too late to say the story, man.
Nigga, that was him. I was 6'9", man.
We gonna cut that out, John. Don't worry about it.
No, we're not cutting that shit.
I
So
can't
say the
forget.
story.
Stop being lazy.
I can't forget that
Listen,
slice.
listen to episode
Oh, so-
7
so
and you'll hear the whole story.
No, I did
You
get
guys
some
really
like
try to listen to
it
it?
was
I
you
listened a
know
little bit, but
some were good and then some was a little more constructive. They're like, yo,
I'll give you the
a
clip.
lot of you guys like who's actually on the show.
Everybody.
And then I was just like, well, we like to have people come and hang out with us.
Because it was different. We were
was
like
different.
That was our
Yeah,
first interview.
letting
too.
them rock and doing
Exactly. And then I was like, for the most part, we decided to let them rock because Paul Mall, he knows how to tell a story.
Yeah.
Like he's a
built for
very
lot
good
of shit.
storyteller. So it's just one of those things, and it's like, yo, he has his own podcast. We asked the questions, he answered them, and he was more than gracious enough to come and hang out with us, and then shout us out on his stuff. So
What's up with this cuffing season? You trying to get hitched?
who, me?
It's on it. It's you
Ray-
highlighted.
Ray
it.
put
No,
it.
I put it on there because I just figured your cuffs is like I know Steve would like to be cuffed at this.
Oh,
point.
Steve loves the
Steve,
holidays.
yeah,
bro.
Steve loves
Steve is
my-
a-
Steve's
got a
got
big
Christmas.
gift
Not this
package
year.
already.
He wrapped
Not,
this
no,
year.
you know what? Not for nothing.
Not this year.
Steve,
So you're an unsigned free agent.
Yeah.
but he's staying that way. He's now willing to just settle,
Yeah.
which I respect that.
You're choosing to be single this holidays? That's what's up, yeah. You keep
might
a
save
little money in your pocket.
Save a lot. Save a lot of money.
Save a lot of money.
you choosing to be single.
Nah, you gotta.
That
respect
sounds
Steve.
like-
Steve is not
It's
jumping
called
on the
living your
first
truth,
one.
Frank.
He got standards.
So those Louis Vuitton bags are expensive, dog. What you doing?
Oh, the Hermes.
Her.
But
Hermes.
not looking for that this year.
Alright.
Alright, big pivot.
Then what are you looking for, Steve?
The Red Zebra has a buffet. They do this brunch thing.
He's looking to do what you should be doing with that fucking Loko.
Why do you cover it, bro?
Sling that shit, baby.
Yeah, Dad, you just throw that shit at me?
Yeah.
He did.
He
He
said,
threw it at
"Come
you.
on, motherfucker, let's talk about it."
He's like, this is a curse I don't want here.
That guayaba flavored for Loko.
What flavor?
No, we from Ecuador, dog.
What's the flavor? What's the Ecuadorian flavor?
Probably something like Maricoya or some shit like that.
What's this
What
banana?
the fuck?
Maracujá?
Passion fruit.
Passion fruit.
What's your flavor? What's the Colombian
I
flavor?
don't know how the hell that's back.
Fucking long. Columbia got
Well, like fruit?
Arepa.
We have a lot of fruit.
He said, "Arepa con queso."
Arepa con queso flavor.
We got tamarindo.
You get that gooey
That gooey.
flavor.
What gooey flavor?
Guinea pig.
The gooey. You're bad dumb, yeah.
Gooey.
The gooey.
I'm so lost.
In Ecuador, we got a thing called cuy.
Oh, cuy.
Yeah, it's
How's
like
that?
it's like a guinea pig.
It is a
And
guinea
they,
pig.
and they roast that motherfucker
Yeah,
like
your
a
pig's
pig.
pet.
Yeah, no, that motherfucker like this. And they
Yeah.
roast that shit like a pig, and they eat
The
it like
hands are
you
the
would
little
to a
ones.
turkey, like on special occasions.
Oh, like
They go
Sanguini.
Kobayashi on that shit, yeah?
So God was trying to say it, but he called it the gooey. The gooey.
The gooey.
Oh, you like gooey. Gooey.
You like good.
Gooey cuy?
So what's it called?
Called cuy.
Kui.
Yeah.
Kui.
Like a queef.
Gooey.
Queef.
Kui. Wait, he's saying gooey. You saying
Kui.
kui.
Gooey.
Gooey.
Kui.
Gooey.
We sound like some morons.
Right?
Do not Google it. Do not Google it.
Is it nasty?
I never ate it in my life.
That's
I know.
Did you
I
eat
know.
it, Frank?
Frank probably
Yeah.
threw a couple down.
Frank's running with the bulls in Ecuador.
That was the first time I went to Ecuador. I don't remember it
Yeah.
too much.
Frank almost got his ass eaten in Ecuador.
Almost.
No, I didn't go.
Don't you disrespect that man? Say almost.
He did get that ass.
Somebody died though.
It wouldn't be a trip
Wait,
if Frank
I'm-
didn't get his ass.
You almost died when you got your ass eaten?
No.
Oh,
I was just
Stop painting narratives out
I have
here.
headphones. He doesn't have
Ray,
mics.
Ray,
I have
Ray, calm down. Ray.
That, the whole thing switched from Ray to Frank was eating dead ass. Like, what's going on?
Look, I can't hear him. He doesn't have. Here, speak right here. Come on.
no, not.
You-
God damn
Speaking to the
Ray.
Bro, so
Stop.
aggressive.
My bad.
Frank, tell us.
Stop.
I apologize. Who
Frank,
died, Frank?
so tell us what happened.
Yo, who died?
I don't know, some Ecuadorian American that went to go visit.
How did he die? Details, motherfucker. Damn. You told me Fox News.
You know,
You didn't watch the news?
Oh, he got hit in the leg and it was like a main artery and he bled out.
Shit.
I seen
Oh, when they were bullfighting. Yeah, you were telling us that story.
I seen a
Nope.
video that
I watched from the stands.
a bull ran over some guy and he actually fell and he was like he couldn't get up. His guts were out of his stomach and he's crawling.
Yeah, I see videos of people
And
getting
people just
impaled.
round him like nothing ever happened. You know?
I didn't say
I mean, not for nothing, you're in the danger zone, bro.
I'm trying to
I
run
would
from
like,
pass
I'm
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to run for my own life. Yeah, every time you say that.
Yeah, it's like a fucking.
Let me see the queen.
Let me see.
First of all, you said it was a guinea pig. That shit is a
Nigga,
whole
that's a
fucking.
cerdo. That's a whole fucking pig.
That's
nigga.
because I don't know what they feeding them out there, yeah?
Dog, they get
It's
big.
because they breed them.
Wait, is
Why
that
does Paul keep going like this?
Those are the road
One motherfucker is
You can
like
get 'em
from
big
that
like
wall
that.
to
Those
this.
are the
Nah,
road-
it ain't that big. You know, it's like.
Those are the
This shit
road
looks like
dogs,
cat
yeah.
dog.
That's a fucking big
That
ass.
shit does look like cat dog.
Yo, tell me this doesn't look like cat dog. The Nickelodeon
When you
cartoon.
see it in person though, it looks like
Cat
a
dog.
big ass rat. That shit's
Cat.
fucking weird.
It's
It's
disgusting.
delicious, though, like, it's-
I've never had it in my
That's
life.
Why not?
You had
Yeah,
it?
I don't
nasty.
remember the taste exactly.
Bro, it's like eating pig. You guys never ate fucking pig?
Yeah, all day.
It's not. It's a
Fucking
cuy.
well.
A cucuy.
Pigs are fucking cool.
Cuy? No.
Cuy.
A cucuy. A
Cuy.
cucuy is the monster under the bed. The cucuy.
Cuckoo, yeah, no,
That's
it's
gross.
so
That's
different.
like
La
a.
Llorona?
Nigga, that's the cuco.
They like-
Oh,
Google. Hey,
Google.
Hey, Google. Yeah, that's the one that makes a little noise.
Cuco. Damn, I started looking around when I said that shit.
It's a cuckoo.
It's crazy because when you see
It's
shit
in
like
fucking
this
Frank's
and
pants.
you get disgusted and you see like them living and then you see them like that, it's just like
You're
damn, but
vegan
that
now,
meat
all of a
good
sudden?
though. No.
Pause.
He bit his lip too. He said, "Damn,
He's
that's
like, damn, Zaddy.
He went like this. He was like, but
And his hand was at his face.
Yeah.
Answer that by don't cheat.
But you're having like eating snake or alligator. I think I had alligator.
I had alligator once.
What's the weirdest meat pause that you ever had?
Ostrich. I had it at a Rodizio, like a barbecue.
How was it though? How was it?
It was good. I didn't know what it was until they told me.
Chicken, bro. They just said that shit was.
Probably.
Horse.
Yeah.
I had horse one time.
Yeah. It's like
You had horse meat?
It's rough because they don't
That's a
eat.
big ass.
They don't eat
muscle.
shit. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah, they're
eat
just
fucking
built-
grass and shit.
built as hell.
They built like
Yeah.
a cock, you know. It's
So that
fucking
was
strong.
tough ass meat.
I think
Yeah.
goat
Yeah.
might have been like the
Takes
weirdest
mad
meat
long
I
to
ate.
cook.
You ever had venison?
Yeah. Yes,
That's
amazing.
nasty.
Yeah.
But then
Baby cat? Huh? Baby cat?
no, venison is deer. No?
Venison's
Yeah,
good.
baby.
Yeah.
You
I'm
talking your veal?
Veal. Now, veal.
I had
never
fried
had
gator.
Veal is fucking good, yeah.
Gator?
Where?
You like that?
Florida.
I
Oh,
get
that
it.
makes sense.
Fried gator.
That makes sense.
Tastes like fucking chicken.
That's what you get at McDonald's.
duck?
Or chicken
Duck
nuggets over there.
Well, actually, had a duck. I think you.
I had duck.
Oh,
Duck-
duck is
duck-
delicious.
You guys
duck
ever had
bacon.
rabbit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had rabbit.
I've had rabbit.
Yeah, nasty sound. I'm about to throw up.
Yeah. Destroying.
Yo,
you.
rabbit's delicious. You never went to like a French restaurant?
Yo,
You ever
fucking
had rabbit?
stuffing.
You big baller, deep pockets, never took a girl to a French restaurant?
You
Fuck no.
rhinoceros ass.
Big Daddy Warbucks over here never took no girl.
She going to Chili's.
Seasons 21. This motherfucker said Chili's.
You going to Chili's?
That's 2 for 20.
That's not
Nah, the 3 for $20 now.
Oh shit.
Well, you get a dessert now.
So he's taking a girl and her friend.
Olive Garden's got buy one get one, so you can
Like
literally
Saturday
buy
I
one.
would get one what?
Like you get 2 meals for one price.
But it's not.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I was
said.
about to say, because I know
Hold
it.
on, what does
Olive Garden
Is
is
that your
not,
guy?
is not Italian food.
No.
Yo, that shit.
It's like the McDonald's of Italian
It is
food.
Bro,
terrible.
but the breadsticks and the salad,
Yeah.
I go there for that shit.
Just for that.
Yeah. The
You don't even
breadsticks
need
are
to
fire.
bring me that
They
too
be
early.
like, yo, you ready to
Wait.
go out there? I don't know. I think
But
I know
I'll
the
tell you
salad
what's
is
better
better
than the
than
breadsticks. Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster.
Them shits is good.
Those are clutch.
Yo, I will literally order just
Nah,
the biscuits
that
from Red
barbecue
Lobster.
spot, that barbecue
Give me a
spot.
bag,
I was
yo.
Oh, we
got
gotta
some-
do that.
They got some garlic bread in there, yo.
We gotta do that.
Bruh.
What?
Big ends.
Big
There's a
ass.
barbecue
The
spot by
barbecue
Gabby's
spot
house.
by my house.
Looks
Oh,
like
right
a
next to the
fu-
Red
looks like a
Table.
fucking barn.
Yo, we hungry as shit. What the fuck?
Barn.
Y'all didn't eat dinner.
I'm starving.
Why are we talking about so much food right
I'm
now?
starving.
I'm hungry.
I'm fucking starving.
So we about to wrap this up and order some pizzas? Is that what you're doing?
Nah, fuck that.
Go get something to eat.
What else? What else y'all want to talk about?
I think what are
I
we
think
at?
we get everything, dude. Oh, the Instagram shit.
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram got rid of the activity feature, so now you can't get creeped
So
on
you can
by
like,
someone.
you can like big booty bitches and not get caught.
Exactly. You can follow
Did you get
Insta
the-
thoughts and not get
Or
caught.
it is, you can follow a lot of
Look,
flash.
Did you get the picture I sent you this morning? I want to make sure you got it.
Gabby just got that.
I don't think I got one this morning.
You didn't get
You
it?
sent me one this morning.
It's
Oh,
usually
usually
be
those?
here, right? In like the little search thingy.
Let me make sure.
It's usually in the heart,
Yeah, so it's like,
and they used to have like a nasty.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no,
not
I haven't
there.
sent you any.
so it would say your followers and then your activity. Now it just says activity.
Mira, te voy a
Actividad.
mandar ahora, espérate.
I'm about to say, do you have your phone in Spanish?
So you've been on like a like spree bonanza. You just
You have to
like
update
everything.
Love
the app.
everything, bro.
Bro, dark mode on Instagram is top it.
You
Yo,
said I
dark
never-
mode on Instagram is amazing.
Because I like how the little like people post.
It feels like you're in
It's
Reddit.
gone. I still see it on here.
No, no,
No,
no.
no, no. Before,
It had two. It had what your followers were doing and then your
Yeah.
notifications.
Yeah.
Now it's
so
just
like if
what
you followed somebody, I would be able to go there and see who you followed.
Gotcha.
Some stalker shit.
Look what he said.
Yeah, Steve.
He said yes, I can like all of these.
But it literally just reinforces the whole stereotype that social media is evil.
Yeah, I know that.
It's the breaker of relationships. Well, the people who take it that deep, who take it that serious, I'm just saying, yo, social
Hold on,
media.
real quick. So let's
Relax.
talk about this. Who do you guys check your significant other's phone?
No.
I don't have one.
That's
So-
disgusting, right? No, but
No,
if you
I
did,
don't.
would
Oh,
you?
if I
feel
did?
like everyone, like if they've never ever given me
Give me
a
a
slight
reason.
reason to,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like
not-
entitled to their own, small privacy.
But my thing is this, like, yo, your
Because-
phone is your phone. It's your
Yeah.
privacy. Fuck it.
No, but I could leave my phone
I
out.
don't even check.
Yeah.
There's nothing in my phone that would.
It's incriminating.
I don't even want to look through my phone.
Just the money laundering center.
No, you
Totally
grab
get it.
Steve's phone. That's how you get mono.
Shit.
Like,
So you wouldn't look in your girl's phone? Would
I
you?
don't have a girl.
Well, your wife.
No, if you did,
No
though.
point, right?
Hypothetically.
That's nasty though. You should
You
never.
were in a
I
relationship.
don't think I have.
Because if you
can't
have
help it sometimes.
that suspicion, then you shouldn't be with that person.
Exactly. If you can't trust them, you shouldn't be with that
And this is
person.
how gangster
No,
my
but I
wife
agree with
is.
his thing.
Like, you know how you can unlock my phone, you can unlock it with your eyes?
She's already sleeping.
No, she put my face.
Oh, shit.
That's what's up though.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Did it unlock?
Yeah, like, that's how I unlock her phone. Like,
That's gold.
that's mad trust right
That's
there.
mad.
That is.
Wait,
I don't
wait.
trust
So,
So, are you
so-
so
She has the face ID,
Wait,
right? But
Oh, so
her
that's
face
the next
ID is not her face, it's his
No,
face.
it's both.
Oh, both
Oh,
of
it's
them.
was your face. I thought she was like doing it while you're sleeping.
Yo,
Hey, like,
that's,
that's trust right there.
yo, that's
Like,
trust level 1000.
That's
Shit.
gold right there.
That is.
Because normally, like, if you got face recognition, you're like, I gotta leave this motherfucker anyway. And nobody
But I
can-
would never ask a girl, like, yo, let me see your phone.
Nah.
No.
If I'm at that point where I'm
Do I not,
asking you,
do I
to
not
leave-
know her?
Really, like I said,
I would
you
like
have
to
like
see
a
your phone.
suspicion.
if I'm asking,
Then at that point,
if I'm at that
it's fine.
point, yo, if I'm at that point where I have to ask to see your phone, then I shouldn't be with you. Because then I don't trust you.
How many of y'all got Samsung in here?
Got what?
Samsung?
Samsung?
TV?
What is
The
that?
Galaxy.
The televisions, right?
Oh, I thought it was
Oh,
a
the phone,
briefcase.
the cellular devices.
Or like the surface.
They're
the
super
tablets?
nasty because they come with a folder that says like secret folder that you can't delete off of the phone.
Cut.
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 Yeah,
Nah, we're
you
not
super,
cutting.
You super 6
I'm bringing this shit to the next level.
Shut your ass.
So,
I'm just letting you know
What's the
how
secret folder?
incriminating this fucking app is because it updates. So your phone, like
Oh, it's a backup.
I don't know.
you leave it hanging out and your phone has like notifications, right? So the shit goes notified, your secret phone just updated. And you're like, what? What fucking secret phone, bitch? I don't got no secret folder.
So you got a 69 in your phone.
In your phone. And
You
I
got
don't
the
even know how to
flashing
use
on
that
your phone.
shit.
I've never seen that shit before.
He lying.
Yeah, Steve, go with that. Go with
I have a
that.
Samsung. I've never seen it before.
Yeah, go
I
with
tried
that.
to delete it once.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah.
That motherfucker came back like Jumanji.
Maybe I've seen it. I just don't care. Could be. I don't know.
So I think we're good, though.
Steve,
We're
go
all
ahead.
done.
Think about
Is
that
it
booty
cool?
pics on.
Yeah, trying to
I
get
think we're all
food.
tired.
And it's
You know what's funny?
early.
It's not even 12 yet.
It's
Usually we're here till like 2 in
11:35.
the morning.
That's why I said let's do this early.
Black hole, ladies and
Sounds
gentlemen.
good. Black hole.
Black hole? I'm like, what?
Black hole.
No, black hole.
Oh, no.
I gotta wake up and go to the gym tomorrow.
Frank's like, what?
Yeah, I gotta work out tomorrow.
No.
Alright, so let's sign out. Any shout outs?
Yes, actually, do have to shout out.
Oh, the cupcake.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Shout out my homegirl Mallory. She came
Where's
through.
your cupcakes?
What's her IG?
You gotta display it.
Her IG is Baker Babes.
No, they're gone. Frank took them.
Nah, they're over there.
They're
There's
so
like
good.
3 left.
The
She
Thursday
brought us some
cupcakes.
delicious cupcakes today. Them
Thank
shits
you.
was fire.
Fire.
Them shits was dope. Follow her
Man, who did that
on her IG.
Here it is.
Damn.
Oh, you hear?
You got him moving. You got
shout out to her. Can we shout out Paulito Vega?
Yeah, let's do it. Now we can do it. Paul,
Now we can do it.
get on the mic.
Get on the mic, sir.
Now, me and my boy Gio, shout out to you, Gio. We doing a MMA podcast. If you're a fight fan, you listen to us, or you're a supporter of the Ray and Ralph podcast, and you just want a little like content. If you follow fights, that's what we're gonna be doing on the side. Smaller clips, smaller like platform videos.
Like little videos,
Not
yeah.
so open ended, just strictly MMA stuff. Boxing too. It's called the Just Two Fight Fans. It's just me and my boy talking shit about fights.
So is it under the umbrella of Fifth Ward Productions?
Oh, it's a Fit for Production. It's a Red Eye Studio here.
Nice.
So talk about.
Popular Studios.
So
Ray was like, you gotta stop using that name. We all get sued.
Yeah, we gotta do Paulito Vega Studios.
No, it's Red Eye Studios.
Oh,
Yo.
Red Eye?
Red Eye?
Red Eye.
Alright,
Okay.
sounds good.
Because in here sometimes you get the red eye, you might get the red eye, and you
Yeah.
might be in here working late, so you get some red eye.
There you go.
Got it.
Any other shout outs, God?
And
Any shout
yeah,
outs?
we shout. Speaking to the mic, sir.
No shout outs. No.
Say something crazy. Not too crazy because I don't want to.
Bush did it.
Actually, I want to shout out my cousin.
Yeah, just do it.
My cousin Camilo. Tell everybody IG.
I'm here, cinematic_Camby. You know what I'm saying? Hit
shout
me
out to
up.
girls'
I
Instagram.
respond quickly.
No, I did already. I
Did
said
you?
it. I said her IG.
I'll do it
But
again.
I'll say it again. Baker Babes.
Baker babes.
She makes
delicious.
dope cakes, dope
I
cake
might
pop,
actually follow
whatever
her
it
right
is.
now.
Yeah.
But
That cookie is really
shout out to my cousin for coming through. He's gonna give me some tips on videos and shit. He actually did give me some tips before we started.
Party.
Whoa.
Recording.
Gave you
Video
lots of-
recording.
How tight of cousins are you over here?
Very tight, man. You know?
That's nasty.
Nasty.
Girl.
He gave you the tip.
I think Trey.
Yep.
I think Trey could give me 20 minutes of hits.
Yo, wait, hold on.
All right. In the context.
Wait, yo, hold on,
In the context.
Hold on.
Shout out to Frank for coming through tonight.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Frank, no DMs.
Oh yeah, Frank.
For
is
Loko
here.
Frank.
We're gonna push this. We gonna push this.
Frank, we're gonna get you a podcast shirt and on the back is gonna say For Loko Frank.
Got
Frank.
it,
For
got
local
it.
Frank said in the building. Come on, say hi. Say hi.
What's going on, everybody?
Some men of little words. But
Word.
thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys.
We'll be
One
back
more thing,
next
one more
week.
thing, one more thing.
Frank's
What's
got the
If
biggest.
you're a
dick
local
ever.
vendor, local anybody around this area that want to put your stuff out, and we can display it over here, we'll wear it proudly. Be sure to hit Ralph or Ray, DM them.
Or DM the podcast or email the podcast.
Or just anybody, man.
Yeah,
Anybody that want to shoot the shit, these mics are available.
Or shoot to one.
Hey.
Alright, relax.
Yo, we should.
I'm not
we
fighting
should
anybody.
just play
These
basketball
Bud Lights are
trash,
kicking in.
bro.
Unless they're like Patriots fans
These Bud Lights are kicking in.
or Red Sox fans, then I might shoot
I
that
think I
fake.
finished. What was that? A 36
What?
pack? We finished that.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Thank you, everybody. Thank
Yeah,
you for
just
tuning
thank
in,
you everybody. We'll see you next week for episode 10, the
you.
milestone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we out of here.
Peace.
Later.
Fuck yourself.
It's more so like pansexuals don't care about what alphabet person you are. Like, no matter what letter you are, pansexuals are attracted to you for the person that you are. Pansexuals are actually the way to go. Because they just don't give a fuck. They want you for the person that you are, not like...
Not your gender.
Not your gender, not
makes
who
sense.
you identify as.
Love is
not
love.
Exactly. Love is love.
So
Yeah.
you don't care what tools they come with as long as they're. have a
Yeah,
good
it's
heart.
secondary for them, I would say. But queer, I feel like queer is a very vague, gray, like, area. I feel like a lesbian person can be considered queer. And I mean, I'm new to the game of, like, the labels. I don't really know. It's a lot to digest. Like,
I
we
think
got
you gotta
a
give
lot
her all
at
labels, dude.
such a
Whatever you
short
like, you
period
like,
of
and that's
time.
it.
No, because some
Queer's
people
kind
need
of like
to
the
identify.
etc.
Ah, it's so you don't have to
That
say
is a good one.
Yes.
like it's a
Like,
a
you got the
umbrella.
lesbians, you got the gays, you got the bisexuals, you got the transsexuals, and then whoever the hell else.
You're like describing, like
I
when you're like, yo, he
actually
understood them.
was
But you're not sensitive,
hysterically
There's some
laughing
people who are too sensitive.
because when I figured out that I liked girls, I was young, but I also knew that I liked boys. So it was like, for me, I didn't really ever think, like, it was secondary to me who you were. So like, I think because I didn't have to go through the whole journey of my parents not being supportive, like, you have to think of the emotional, stuff that you go through to be the person that you want to be. And so for me, I had it really easy. My parents were supportive, my family was supportive, her family was good, so it was kind of like, for me, I can laugh at it because I didn't have to go through really any trials and tribulations. Like,
you were never hiding anything.
Exactly.
Like,
it was
like
kind of just like,
or anything like that.
people have paved the way for me to be able to feel okay and not have to, like, so.